currently watching, I want you to click.
Wolves Esports.
Non-Team Red Force.
Tianba.
Darkness.
Hustler Crew.
Alpha 7 Esports.
Arena. S2G Esports.
OA Esports.
And finally, your defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos. As you've seen on day 2 of the group stage, the margins are so tight. Every rotation, every elimination, every point matters.
Nous y voici. Group B is locked in and ready to go. Day 3 of the PMWC group stage at EWC 2026 starts right now.
Last year, Yangon Galacticos arrived at PMWC as underdogs. This year, they return as defending champions, with the chance to do something no team has ever done before: win the PUBG Mobile World Cup back-to-back.
And they have to push now. Alpha 7 getting cut out by
Their journey to the title was anything but straightforward. After struggling to find their rhythm in the group stage, Yangon were forced to take the longer route through the survival stage. Their entire tournament came down to a single point. One fewer elimination would have ended their World Cup journey before the grand finals had even begun.
For this year, I do believe in my team because we had like a little bit of training time and we put a lot of work to that. We had a lot of discipline, so yeah.
shots back and forth trades on either side.
But after surviving elimination, Yangon looked like a completely different team. Their rotations put them in strong positions. Their utility created openings and their confidence grew with every match. They knew when to fight, when to remain patient, and how to turn their opportunities into chicken dinners. By the end of the second day, Yangon had claimed 4 wins and moved to the top of the leaderboard. On the final day, the pressure continued to build as multiple teams became eligible to win. But Yangon remained composed, trusted their own game, and stayed at the top until the tournament was theirs.
What changed between survival stage and grand final is especially our mindset, you know. When we completed to the grand final, we don't have any pressure anymore. We can get all our fully potential.
Last year, Yangon had nothing to lose. Now everything has changed. They are no longer the surprise team flying under the radar. Every opponent knows their strengths, studies their rotations, and enters the lobby determined to take their crown. Being the hunter brought them the championship. Now they must learn how to compete while being hunted.
defending champion is so much like everyone is watching on you and everyone is learning about you. It's a lot of pressure on us, but we will try our best.
No team has ever won the PUBG Mobile World Cup twice. No champion has ever successfully defended the crown. Yangon Galacticos now have the opportunity to become the first. This year, the question is no longer whether Yangon can win. It is whether anyone can stop them from doing it again. Can Yangon Galacticos make history and win PMWC back-to-back? Or will a new champion take their crown?
The stage is set. Paris is excited as the energy is starting to reach a fever pitch, and myself and Blank are in position for another exciting day. The twist in the narrative, though, Blank, is that we've changed teams. A new group, the return of the champions, and so much talent is right behind us, getting ready.
I know, they absolutely are. We have some godlike fans with us right now, which is cool. You can imagine they're going to get pretty loud at some point today as they start to pop off, or we hope they pop off. We've got some big names coming in as well. We've got Nongshin Red Force, Hyunbin, an absolute monster on that squad. Alpha 7 looking to potentially be just a little bit better, which isn't all that difficult considering the run that they've had this year. But it sounds like they've done a lot of preparation in the meantime, according to Revo. And again, like I said, I think Revo has cemented himself as probably the best shotgun player, close range player in the world. But I think Falak's going to give him a run for his money going forward.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. The signs of life we were seeing back in the first stage with the way that it was played, Blank, it was incredible. Do you know what's even cooler?
It is the ancient charm set from Yangon Galacticos. You can join the PMWC event in-game, redeem those perks for a chance at those outfits, which look fantastic, I might say.
The culture, the style, the way it's all tied in.
The smile.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, it's sick, right? I got to get me one of those. I saw him in the flesh when they came out yesterday wearing them, boy. Oh, it's heat.
It is heat. It is heat. I mean, it is a vibe. It's a complete vibe. I love it. I need to get my hands on it in-game at some point. But they were rocking it yesterday. And again, they look sweet. They look cool. I was half hoping they'd be walking out in them today. But again, the jerseys look just as cool. These guys have style on the side of Yangon.
They do indeed. Already the arena is starting to get excited. The contrast, the different fans on either side. So many teams that are being represented here. Friends, family, the coaching staff, and the onlooking fans that want to see once again another rise to success for a squad like Alpha 7 Blank. They've done it before. And what a tantalizing prospect it is having two of our champions in one group. Very different right now when you look at the current landscape for either of them. But still, they both won it.
They both won it. They're both looking to do it again. And for Yangon, it's a case of defending their title now. It's a bit of a rocky way to the top for them last time, but they've made it. And like we've said before, absolute underdogs. But they've had a lot of time, a lot of focus brought into this one. A lot of training in the back end. They've had their filler arc. Now they're ready for the main event here at EWC. Let's see what they can get done. But Alpha 7, the fans, they're happy. They're looking to cheer their team on. And again, with the success Alpha 7 had this year, it is looking like they only have upwards to go, right? It can only get better.
It's very true, Blank. And it's starting to get loud in the venue. We're not even live yet, and Paris is lighting it up. You can hear the excitement. They've brought all sorts of different instruments, and they're absolutely giving it. The beat of the drum is going. Paris, are you ready for Rondo?
Get loud, because it's first game of Group B. Let's see what these teams can do. We're going straight through the middle of the map here on Rondo, through Bamboo, past Neox. It's going to get hot. It's going to get heavy here on the first map of the day.
Just soak it in. For the viewers at home, it's a very different atmosphere from what we're feeling right now, live in the flesh, in the arena at EWC.
I can feel it on my skin. Goosebumps.
It's in the air, Blank, the excitement and anticipation. And this is before we've even seen a single Elim.
Running it through right now. Vitality out early, down towards that south side. Tiamba, Eagle sending out towards a recall beacon for the rest of the team to get out and get dirty in the mix of it. TT Project all heading over towards Fengtang actually, so not really going for a split early on the game here either. Heading over towards Neox. Darkin have proven himself time and time again to be one of those good close-range players that you want to see in those moments. But before we do kick things off on such a mad map, we do have an interview coming through with Vitality just shortly, but things are already getting a little bit crazy here. Obscure opens up Alpha 7 with the first elimination of the game. Godlike also going crazy over towards S2G here, Jackie.
We started off with some big opening elims straight out the gate, and that's what we want here on a battleground like Rondo. Alpha 7, what have you got in store? They usually display a ton of mechanical talent, and this would be the perfect environment to display that. An enticing head-to-head. Ravo on the move. 30 rounds to play with, looking for the peak up from Tiamba as they start to roam.
We're in Yulin and things are starting to get a little bit spicy. Tiamba on the outside at the moment, just looking in. They already have Eagle down towards that south side, like we said, but Jiggle is down there, and Jiggle's a bit of a difficult player to come up against. Luckily, he's on the other side of Tin Long Garden right now, so Eagle is safe for the time being. Tiamba can play a little bit less safely here. ETSH also finding some shots over towards Aura, but they're already on 3 eliminations this game. You can see the amount of recalls already coming through here. That is a damn lot of eliminations to start things off, but we are cooling things down now.
Brief moment of respite. Arc there, trying to get the charge on point. Detonates with the stereo setup, hoping for the peek out from necessary to see if you can get an opening follow-up from this. That's already 2 elims on a hot drop that we've seen so far from Alpha 7. What are they going to be leaving with? That's the question.
Playing on the inside here, looking to push up over towards necessary now. DP in hand, a good weapon for a 1v2, but pre-fire's coming through the window. It's a good one with the AKM. Will make it happen. Revo again in close range. He's nasty, but it's Loco to come up to the plate now. Grease out on the inside, will go down. The backup is there, but the backstop does get taken out. Hustler crew causing problems as Tiamba starts to flow on in.
Loco got an opportunity to reset himself as well with the meds. Just enough time to be in a good position to continue the fight, but Tiamba, smell the blood in the water. Nade on the wrong side of the banister, it won't connect. Just trying to get these bandages quick so he can reply. Shotgun for the close range engagement on the peak though, not swift enough. Goodbye, Loco.
3 guns pointing at you, you're gonna go down there, no matter how crazy you are. Revo taking shots over to QZ, who has been an absolute demon in some of these lobbies earlier in the year. He absolutely showing people what he's made of over at PMI, but Revo goes down, and Alpha 7 taking a fair big hit there. They'll immediately reset on this one, though. They got themselves 3 eliminations. It's the most anyone's got in the lobby so far. Decent nade, though, coming through from Speed on ETSH. Fair bit of damage over towards A-King. We'll have to back off the angle. Sky on the backlines, though, and Aura. These guys usually dominate over towards Yulin, Jackie.
Is this going to be a usual result for them? On the periphery right now, setting up like vultures, keeping a good understanding of the landscape to see how these other teams are going to fight amongst themselves before they overcommit to anything too heavy on the investment front. ETHS had that nice nade to get a bit of chip damage off, but they've roamed as a pack round, and Sleepy could be caught. That's going to be the connection from NASA. An instant tag followed through with a flush there straight away.
Sleepy's generally like the off-anglist on the side of Aura, catches players off guard, but ETSH, they've got their eyes wide open at the moment. Circle's got some suspenders on it right now as it does lift heavy over towards the north side of the map. E-Arena is in position. A bit of a split right now. E-Arena, 10k. Finding Mania from Godlike. Should be able to get that res back up again. It's over towards the north side of the map. E-Arena, like I said before, playing on a 2-2 split, so they've got to play aggressive there. They've got to puff out the chest, ensure that teams don't get too comfortable in that region, because they're trying to confirm on both sides of the river here, Jackie.
You got to fight for that control. And the battle against Thora is still continuing right here, right now, with Tiamba also taking a piece out of them. Nearly on the rock up on the roadside. Good spot down towards the hill. Fine speed. Great reply. Nearly the double up as well, Blank.
Incredible reactions there coming through from Milu, and I mean, he's been doing a lot of work right now. Good shots from the sidelines, though. That's QZ starting to make himself well known in the picture at the moment. Get the res over towards Milu, and Fajita now left, kind of scrambling inside of Yulin, unsure how he wants to play this one out. Needs to get an air over towards QZ, isolate the singular player, knows roughly where he is. That's 12K on the stair line. Now realizes he has to back this one up now. Misses the nade, will head upstairs. Aiken gets some shots. It's an easy pick off for QZ. Tiamba up to 6 elims on the game already. We're looking at 1 a minute at the moment.
They're starting to rise. Taking pole position right now into the game. Meanwhile, you got the setup here with S2G up close and personal. A compound clash between the two. Dopeness, what can you do? SMG on the clear, runs into the pre-fire of Kamikaze, so that's an easy conversion for an elimination point, bringing them down to 3 players in this elaborate fight.
Very curious to see how S2G does this tournament. There was some luck earlier in the year that gave some fortuitous opportunities to get further into the circuit. But all these players are strong in their own right. They just haven't had those shining moments at the moment, but this clear looks good. I feel like S2G's been putting in a lot of work in the back end at the moment. It's starting to show right now up against Dopeness at least. And even if it was a fairly easy clear, the way they were going about it, the 2-2s, the jumps around the corner, felt coordinated. It's usually what Turkish teams are so good at as well, is that synergy, that coordination, which is why it did feel so out of character for S2G in the past to be so unlinked with one another.
You gotta have the basics down, and the protocols look nice there, at least with the way they played off each other. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Squads on the move up towards the zone right now as well, getting themselves into position. Curious, Blank,
my
how this is
favorite
going to go for
drop spot
A7.
on Rondo is Danching because we can get many eliminations there. We have a good strategy to play on Danching.
And we are back in a bit. Just a quick interview with Vitality very, very quickly there. See him on screen right now, rotating round, but not yet to get a single elimination on board. Next circle shift now, Jackie, over towards the west-hand side here. Wolves feeling quite good about this, but for Alpha 7, this is a really, really nice opportunity for them. As they swing around the western side, they tried to cut in early. They're right next to a res beacon as well, so they can hold off other teams that they like, but this is a super hard shift. A lot of teams on that eastern side feeling fairly uncomfortable. GS team now needs to re-rotate back over towards where they just came from on the north side of the map.
So far, so good for the excitement factor here. And I'm sure you can hear that as well. The fans getting amped up as this one starts to kick off.
Guizao driving on through. Circle starts to close in. Yangon Galacticos starting down towards the test track, now looking to move over towards the rest of the team. Hustler crew also roaming on that north side, looking towards that high ground, right, to get a little bit more of that scouting through, but it's feeling more and more likely it's going to drop back down towards the southwest side, sit around Stadium. But again, Stadium's such a big place, so isolated, that cuts out quite a bit of the area. You don't really want to be playing on the northeast side either, Jackie. So you are locked in to this southwest region. We also have the lake down towards that southwest side that sits on the slope downwards. This is awkward terrain.
Going to result in an even higher elevated level needed from some of our squads to play around it with the way the circle's been developing. Close grouping here as well. Once again, singing the praises of S2G in the first fight we saw from them. If they are collapsed upon on their advance, how do they display themselves? And they're going to be able to hold themselves nicely. Could be a chance for an engagement forced upon them as well. It's TT and Nonshin that are not too far away.
Checking the top side of Stadium there makes sense as well. A lot of times you leave a player up there. It's a cheeky maneuver, get some shots out, but S2G keeping their sides clear right now. I like playing up against this pillar as well. You can basically cut off one side of the map to you and only deal with players trying to aggress on either edge. So I think that's a good shout from S2G so far. They have a very central position to work with off the back of that. And even so, they can catch players moving through. Godlike's taken a slower approach on the north side. I like it though. I think what they're trying to go for right now is leave that two-man over towards the northern edge, ensure that teams coming through from Nanshuan don't catch them off guard in future. So that high ground's going to be super critical for that factor in future. Alpha 7 also with a bit of a split lineup on that northern edge, looking for something very, very similar here. These guys are committed, actually, even dropping the emergency cover flares here too on S2G. Oh, mate.
Well, big shift on it. The investment there of the cover flares, like you say, not really going to pay too many dividends for them, as it will be taken out of play quite quickly. So they're going to be thinking about the future rotations that are still yet to come for them. Meanwhile, on the move on our screens right now, you can see Alpha 7, a squad that's got a lot of excitement behind them. Right here, right now. Taking on Wolves could be the potential pipeline for them to get into a good position. Started it off nicely with the opening 3 elims. Nade towards Carrillo. It's big chip damage, Blank.
It's a struggle at the moment. Nade over the top here. One more airburst might do the trick. Goes incredibly low. Has to lob one back of his own. Will scare Elementrix a little bit, but it's only about 20% of the HP taken off, and he looks to keep the aggression up. Carrillo gets another first aid kit through, but the vehicle is absolutely stomped out right now. He might be able to get it a little bit of a distance out of there, but Alpha 7 knows that they need to get a move on. Stadium being such a big feature of this next circle as well leaves E Arena in a really good spot, but how has Tiamba managed to squeak their way in?
The Tiamba that was showing its incredible form in terms of the fights, at least early on the drops. If they get into a devilishly good position with what they've shown, maybe that could be a bit of a dark horse twist in the narrative for them going into game 1 on Rondo.
GS limping over. Milu opens up over towards Schweppes though. The off angler for E Arena, bit awkward. GS might hear this and want to aggress on it. Again, there's lots of little angles you can play in, but Milu will clean up one. Gets immediately refragged by Morban. ETSH finding Carrillo inside the Pagoda. Alpha 7 might just need to abandon him on this. I think it's the only play they have.
So either give it up or make it work right now in the mechanical side. They are taking pot shots back down,
by the way. Alpha 7 now moving Doom. Squeeze out, gets knocked out of the vehicle. Revo not in a good position, leaving Obscure with it all to do now. But NASA, last left alive for ETSH. Revo went down to the blue, he did his job. Got a fair few knocks on through. Obscure now needs to move up, get a little bit closer. Has to hit the first aid kit soon. NASA though, cleaning out these eliminations. He peaks with that much HP, he's confident.
Unbelievable scenes. So close to his demise as well, but they're able to at least top themselves back up, get over towards the recall tower if possible. It could be a saving grace for Alpha 7, Blank.
Gonna drop down towards that south side now. He has time to do it, but once we hit stage 4, it's gonna get a little bit more difficult. He has to commit now, and kind of skidding off the road there doesn't feel good. Next circle will hit Stadium. We have not seen one of these in quite a while, and we get to see our first one now here in EWC. GS team playing on the outer edges at the moment. Rihan working off these stairways. It's a good place to play. Being able to peek up and down at the back of it is fun to work against. Benongshan Red Force, they're up first. JS9 in the hands of XZY.
Nice first knock round the backside. Nade in to attempt to convert something from this as well. So many teams breathing down each other's necks here towards the stadium. A fitting finish potentially, given where we are right now, Blank. It's on brand, it's on point. Where does it go from here? Tony K with a quick pop of the stims, get himself back up. Surf going to start coming in as well, ushering those teams forward. We saw that recall play from Alpha 7. They do reset the squad. At least 2 of them alive and kicking. The duo is better than just one. How far can they take it? The Arena lobby leaders right now with the elims 9 under the belt. Tiamba fell earlier. Wolves with a backstab coming up swiftly onto Nonchin. That's an opener from Elementrix, but TT get line of sight, and the scrap continues. The first Wolves shut down as the response from E-Arena's good.
E-Arena not been slow about it at all. They want to get thick into the action. It's a good nade, bounces off the wall, not quite finding connection though, on towards them. But Wolves, they are down on their feet, looking to get the reds off as quickly as possible. Slonic going very, very low. E-Arena looking for these flushes now. Emergency cover flares brought in because this is an emergency at the moment. One nade. Brother. Oh. Trade off there, Slonic low. Tonic getting him back up again. Elementrix goes down. To some shrapnel on the side. E-Arena looking to clear out space though. They know they have to do this. They were here very early on in the game, but I like how much presence they're showing here.
Carrillo again, getting stuck in for Alpha 7, but they take some hefty blows as Sleepy from Hora finally gets his revenge for the start of the game. This fight just doesn't stop either. Wolves up against E-Arena for so damn long as they finally buckle under the pressure. Wolves out of the running. Alpha 7 once again left with a solo. Ida taking the hit towards our reigning champions in Yangon.
Yangon has been playing real slow into this one too, but for E-Arena, it's good to see. Feels almost like the torch has been passed down from Vampire now to E-Arena. This Thailand team doing incredible work so far. TT Project look to get themselves out of this awkward situation. Alpha 7 still up and kicking now. But down to one player. 70 limbs on the mat, it's not bad. But it could be better here. But at least they didn't go out with absolutely nothing. I think for Alpha 7 they'll take that right now. But goodness me, so many teams afraid to head over towards Stadium now just because it is fairly locked down on these outer edges. We do have a circle on our hands here. A lot of teams on that eastern side quite pleased with how this has worked out. Vitality, Razy and Razak, the famous duo, improved from Indonesia, now looking to pump up a little bit more damage. Mormon grabs himself the Orc Master at the moment because he has been putting in work. A 13th elimination added now. A chicken dinner here would be fantastic for the point tallies.
For Alpha 7, the end finally arrives. Try as they might to keep themselves alive in our opening game. They did well, like you say, Blank, to at least draw a few more points out from it. But it finally bites the bullet on the wrap back over to Stadium. But like you say, E-Arena right now, ruling the roost with some of the fights they've been able to pick off on. Softening up the competition that's been coming their way as well. If they can lock this down, could be in a very tasty position. Already 14 elims. How far do they take it? And what did Godlike do here? Effect with the clap back. Good for one. Nice nade from S-Power, but Ephes tries to hold on to it. An intense encounter between these two sides. Godlike down to 2, but S-Power making the difference for now.
Godlike on our edge is a tough position to be in. S2G on their sideline. A quick rollback. S-Power makes it look easy, but Joker from a distance, stopping these teams in their tracks. The proactivity from E-Arena has been insane so far. There's not a fight that they have not been unwilling to be a part of.
If they get line of sight, you best duck your head down because E-Arena are absolutely farming in this battleground right now. S2G, heavy hit coming over to Hustler Crew. You got the off angle set up, looking to take pot shots down and save his mates. Kamikaze trapped behind the vehicle. They want to close the gap onto it. S2G going in aggro, Vitality in the distance as well. Kamikaze with a single knock, Loco, drop back down, trapped behind the ridge.
AZM, you can hear his jammer pack just went out just then. Now needs to get a move on. S2G, they post up. AZM taking a huge amount of damage. The blue might just do the trick here. We'll take him out. S2G with 9 elimina on the game.
Crazy the sheer distance we're looking at as well. 9 elims being second place, 15 points for first right now, and the split on the actual minimap is insane with what we've been set up with. The only team that's looked comfortable realistically has been E-Arena from the position they've been in.
Oh, given a single inch right now, and they have cleared out the entirety of the northwest side. Now they can pretty much shunt most teams down towards that southern edge. Schweppes opening up onto GS once again, and they are just swarming on them. Another goes down in Malik, and E-Arena looking for more and more points. 17 elims. Can they go further? Can they hit the 20 bomb?
Well, finally, it seems like someone's willing to test them. E-Arena taking casualties, but they're looking to reply back. They will keep themselves alive with Tourniquet, it seems, over at the stadium. Mixed Vitality pushing on to S2G. A back and forth fight, a quiet game otherwise for Vitality. They were playing their cards close to their chest, but they've got to fight for control right now.
Looking for the royal flush over towards S2G. All 4 players down potentially. Axel. One nade in hand, it's going to be important. One quick spray over towards Hamty G. Quickly drops back down to his belly. Some more damage. I mean, he's hitting every shot. Just continue with it.
The numbers dwindling for S2G. Peek round the back of the rock, and Axel hits it swiftly. Goodbye, good night. They're down as Vitality start to get some energy going their way. Meanwhile, Ida taking it straight to the face of the reigning champs. Yangon inside the back of the warehouse. Emre incredibly low, and Vitality smelling the blood in the water. They can wrap off, play this safe, get into a better position. But can Yangon hold on?
Emre flexing those big muscles here inside the warehouse. Nade start to go through. Romeo in a difficult spot now. Will swing out the side. Desperation play indeed, but doesn't find the swift shot through the smoke here. Rita moves up, Smile goes down. Ida putting a frown on the faces of Yangon Galacticos. Last play incredibly low. Romeo is out.
They fall down and out in Rondo. And one by one, we whittle through our squads. The only fight we've seen taken to E-Arena left them in a position with 2 players knocked. They reset from it and continue to live on. You asked the question, can they push to 20 elims? They only need 2 more, Black. But can Vitality suck up some of the points as they do advance onto the weakened Ida?
Oh.
Emre with the detonation on the vehicle. Vitality, you're going to have to recover from this swiftly. What's the decision making?
That's a rough one. Rita playing inside building. Good burnout from him. Tries to get back inside, but good shots from Axel. Has been on an absolute tear this game so far. Good damage all around. Feels like a lot of the eliminations have been stolen away from him. That is an insane pre-spray from Razy. Gets a lot of damage done towards Emre, and he was not expecting it. Almost jumped into the headshot. The flicks are crazy from Federales.
They're playing on a different pace of the game right now, and it does work out for Vitality to bring the thunder back down to Ida. Man with the quickest fingers in France.
Could not believe what I just saw. I don't think either could Ida, honestly. They witnessed that and it was terrible. Lufa will move up from Dopeness, takes down the first player so far from the arena. They are down to 3. Vitality still sitting pretty with 4, and teams have to push out into them.
2 fights happening back to back. Stereo setups from our teams. Hora taking the hit straight to Vitality. Jiggle the only one keeping his eyes peeled over onto the E-Arena encounter versus Dopeness. They eat the opening nade. Schweppes setting up for another one, but on the peak takes a few shots, low on HP. No fear with the steal versus Vitality. Can Dopeness actually defend themselves now?
Great Molotov forces him through the doorway, opening up the lines of sight. Now just one player left alive here. It is Speak Up. E-Arena need to break their way out of here. 19, if they finish this fight, they're up to 22. An unbelievable game. Speaker has to make the crazy play, and there it is. A 22 elimination game. The first match of Group B. E-Arena is bringing it.
Not only are they looking for an opening game win, they're looking to do it by sending a message. And for Hora, they weakened Vitality amongst all this, but they were able to reset. Investing some of their utility, they're still alive with 4. Hora waiting on the steps on an off-angle setup whilst Razy scouts further back. No need to overcommit yet. Forced out of the vehicle, though, tucks in behind the tree. If you fall to sleepy, you could get very awkward quickly.
Razy, put on the backside of the tree here, has to drop something. The cover flares, all that's left to keep them alive. E-Arena pushes away over towards the northern edge. They're going to hold out here. Aura coming in with 4 players. It's going to be hard to clean out this game here. E-Arena, though, they are on fire so far. This team is warm, ready to go, no fear. Time to put some more eliminations in the books. Vitality with a quick rescue. But can they make it back? They do. Goodness me.
It's tense now. Fine margins between these teams. The rappel up to the top side. Schweppes. Playing it cheeky, Blank.
Mina's looking for more eliminations here. They have already done an incredible amount of work so far. Joker gonna head up next. No one's taking shots. Getting the high ground is insane. The cover flares come down underneath. Moment left behind. He's crazy. Jiggle moved down. Might have seen him though. Might have spotted him. Cover flares on the roof. You are wild for it. Jiggle, I don't think he's had any idea.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
No way.
Now he knows, Blank. Joker with a headshot unloads from the top of the roof. It's good damage onto it.
They have full control over this one. The emergency cover flares drop down, now give them incredible peaking advantage up against Vitality. A little tank here and there, but goodness me, the Blues going to push them out to the open. This is more eliminations for E-Arena. They have the perfect setup.
You have entered E-Arena's arena at this point. The gladiators here in France as they are ruling from the top side, control of the ground floor as well, with Mormon in position. And Vitality know that they are forced to advance eventually. You're exposed either way. And Joker's looking for the peak back towards the warehouses. How far can they take it with the Elims? They look for more decent damage. There's another knock from Schweppes.
Instantly trying to flush out on that one. 24 in the bag. Blow up the vehicle. Don't let them go any further on the back of this one. Aura can do nothing but stand by and watch. M79 brought out to hopefully bring a train, but the rescue I don't think is coming for Razak next. Joker finds the peak off the back of it. Mormon holding the angle. But they're patient, they're real patient about it. But a nasty headshot from Federalis saves the day here. Joker has to not be greedy. That tree saves his life in that moment. The sightline just not quite there. Oh, Mormon.
That's the issue, Blank. The duo so heavily focused at the cover flare setup on the roof side. If they leave themselves exposed, can Mormon steal this away from the ground, draw the crosshair off, and guarantee himself something to play with?
Stage 9 now. It gets spicy. Center dots towards this loot crate. E-Arena may need to drop down at some point, but they'll see what they can get done in the meantime. Vitality playing it slow, but will have to move. Even more emergency cover flares dropped.
Building themselves barrier after barrier. Oh, shot down again. Joker gets the peek out. Federales cowering close towards the limited cover he's got, but no fear. Sees an opportunity and swings round. Federales with a hold. Some clean connections in the past couple minutes here.
E-Arena, they see this, they know the knocks are going through, they're looking to send nade, they feel like they're in range, it's on target, a bit of chip damage. Razy has to back out, one more nade over the top, it looks on target, nades, unreal, from up on high. They are dropping bombs down towards Aura. This is insane work, Sky goes down, more eliminations available here, might take them to 29, Jackie.
One away from the big 30. And there's only a single member of the squad left to try and fight against them. The dream of E-Arena on Rondo, as they've been living their movie, Elim after Elim. And Sleepy is all that remains between them and an unbelievable game one.
Schweppes looking down upon their arena, their stadium. What a ridiculous result here for E-Arena. It has been sublime from start to finish. the circle begins to close. We're getting right into those final moments. Just one more minute before it all finishes.
Coming down to the bitter end, Sleepy looking up towards the sky, but will he be on point when they're forced to drop? It's all a matter of timing. Two crosshairs going to be swiftly on his angle. Can he withstand the duo drop? That's one with the shotty. All onto the last man as Schweppes tries to withstand the peak. Sleepy on the double up. Quick shots, can't quite connect.
He's going down.
The zone's nibbling away at him blank.
There's
and
no
that's
way.
how they finish it.
Thailand makes a stand here at EWC. An incredible 39-pointer. They've got half the points that some teams earned yesterday at the end of it all in one match.
A game one chicken dinner with an unbelievable narrative. It wasn't even a single pop-off play. It was the entire team working in unison from start to finish. The mechanics, the movement, and the setups. They read the game perfectly. And they hit their shots.
I mean, respect to Revo. I mean, he's smiling over this. And he should be. Everyone should be smiling. This is records broken. This is records made on a first game of all things. They've done it. Like, they're in. Right? They're in at this point. Yeah, they're not dropping out.
It's incredible. I didn't expect it.
I mean, it's just disbelief on players' faces. I don't think anyone looks all that sad about it.
They're shocked. That's all it is, Blank.
I mean,
You're shocked.
Aura's probably shocked, yeah. Goodness me. What a game. What a game. I've not seen anything like it.
And for E-Arena, just another day in the books. Showing up massively.
Yeah. We're going to replay here. I have never seen a play like this work out, by the way. Never.
I can't believe it.
The fact that Schweppes is able to just crack the can open and make this work is wild. Let's hear him with the team. Bro, clear comms, clear comms.
They were just locked in. There was nothing that needed to be
like,
said.
where's the comms? Where's the comms? There's no comms. They are locked.
They knew what needed to be done. Trusted their individuals on that one. No need to waste brain power talking. Let's just get it done, and that's what they did.
Man, I mean, the Rabbits, they bounce up the leaderboards, and they'll stay there for a while. We'll be back shortly after this.
As we head into a jam-packed weekend here in week 5 of EWC 26, it's time for another club championship update. And this one is a banger, so let's dive straight into it. First of all, at the STC Arena, they are out of groups now into quarterfinals. We'll be following along with how that journey goes. But this is where the big storylines start to kick in, okay? Because we have 2 games headed into their grand finals today. Over at Tekken 8, we have our top 8 players solidified. One of them is from AGAL. This will matter in a little bit. We're going to get back to it. Falcons is also going to be playing in that top 8. In honor of Kings, we are down to our top 2 teams, and they are the same 2 teams that battled it out last year. We're talking AGAL again and KSG. You can start to see why AGAL is a big player heading into today. Currently, they are only 250 points behind Falcons on the CC leaderboard. If they are able to solidify a win, they can get those 250 points that they need from the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet stage alone, because they've already guaranteed 750 for that second place. The win ties them with Falcons. If they get another good placement over at the Allianz Vault, this could be the weekend that AGAL take the lead away from Falcons. As those updates come through, I'm going to be making sure we're reporting live to give you guys all of the most up-to-date information to see where they are on that leaderboard. And of course, to close everything out for us, we're heading into Group B today for PUBG Mobile. Whole new group of squads getting into our competition, and we're going to see how they managed to do today as well. So check back in just a little bit later.
Thank you, Glitter, for that CC update. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting EWC records broken here at PMWC at EWC 26 as E-Arena puts up a cool 39 points, Max.
Absolute madness, record-breaking Rondo, and just like E-Arena, we are on the rooftops right now. It was hit one stadium here, it's a little bit windy, but you know what a play, sending two players up there, in particular Joker getting so much done at the end with Schweppes. Lovely stuff indeed, and in particular, it's not just the rooftop in particular that was interesting here, Niptura, it's also the fact that down below they got so many eliminations. There was Tiamba, there was Wolves, there was Nongshim Red Force. You threw everything at that team, and yet they had a plan, Niptura.
And that's what you want to see for a team of this caliber. They have a plan for every situation, just running through the basement, getting rid of all those players that were hiding out, going up onto the top and going, okay, now we have control of stadium. What's going on around it? I mean, look at all this. An excellent showcase of how to actually use nades here, Max.
It's like they became the grenade. They are a seeking missile themselves. Tony K was going crazy. You know what? People say, oh, we got Tony K from Wish. No, he is the main character right now. He's crazy.
And towards the end, Max, I mean, we get a stadium finish here, and something that you kept calling out over and over when we were watching it, especially when they were on the roof. It's like somebody came up to E-Arena and asked, how many cover flares would you like? And they said, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was counting, like, okay, one cover flare makes sense. Then I saw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we had a 7th cover flare at the end, which literally the roof, we know, I mean, you, I mean, Natura, we've been up there sniping many times in Ultimate Royale. That position is terrible if you don't have any cover, because it's a little bit of a slope downhill. If any team has a position where they can see the rooftop, it becomes truly unplayable. But see, all the cover flares here was great, but at the end, the leap of faith, literally, Niptura, 2 players jumping on down, and he almost was taken away by Sleepy, but eventually the shotgun worked out in their favor.
It did. I was very... it's one of those things where you're kind of on tender hooks. You know, that final push down is like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. You've done so well. Is it all going to fall? No. We don't have parachutes, Max. It's not going to work. It's not the same.
Give us the zip line. That's what we need right now. We need the zip line so we can get back to the home studio as well. But for some of the other squads, I mean, if we start off, we saw Tiamba being able to start off hot as well. Niptura, they were able to get a good amount of eliminations because of that hot drop that they were doing.
Yeah, I'm very excited about what we're seeing from Tiamba so far. I mean, they were looking very, very clean, very put together. Some great synergy coming in as well there. In the hot drop, yeah, I mean, they were pushing together. I think, who was it? It was Wolves, I think, that player of Wolves up on the stairs in Yulin, and he, the 3v1 push, they push together, they're pushing around, they're trying to get angles around all of these different teams. Vitality was another one I was impressed with on the outside towards the end of that game. They were doing some really good stuff as well, just maneuvering around S2G, using their weakness to their advantage. Very excited with that. So yeah, a couple of other teams apart from the big dogs here that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, one of them, I mean, you just mentioned it. Vitality, the way that they were able to play that towards the end as well. Max, not only the peaks, but also the way that Federalis was able to put up the smoke and go up to the fence and give themselves a little bit of an extra chance against the Arena, but it was going to be too much.
I mean, Federalis only got 2 eliminations this game, but the way he got those eliminations was just truly stellar. I mean, I'm just going to try and replicate how he was doing it. He was going like... Okay, oh no, you can't see me anymore, okay. Well, you know what, maybe later on if you're lucky, but E-Arena here, 29 eliminations, 39-point game, record-breaking Rondo from these guys, and we checked it earlier, right, Niptura?
Yes.
How many points were secured by the fifth place cutoff team in Group A? It was 88 points. They're basically halfway there in 1 game of Rondo.
I mean, that's how you want to do it, really, when you only have 2 days. I mean, we saw it from 4 Thrives in PMGO Season 1, right? You do this, you have this kind of day, you have this kind of game, and you are kind of set for the rest of the day. They have to just be consistent, not a lot of points, not a massive win. They're good to go now. They can relax and they can chill now.
Yeah, I mean, really having a good time in this game. You know what? Looking at all of these teams, it felt like there was not 16 teams, there was just 1 team. It was the E-Arena show from start to finish.
Well, when you get to stadium early, when you're able to defend, the way that they were able to actually defend against Wolves as well, Wolves didn't even want to push up. Wolves just kept using up a lot of nades, but E-Arena, cool cool, calm, collected, doing their thing. One team that we actually got a chance to see do their thing, even though I wanted to see a win out of them, it was none other than Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ended up with 7 eliminations, and we're talking about expectations for this squad. This is not a bad match for them.
Yeah, it was good in terms of overall eliminations. A lot of those came from the hot drop, which is what you would usually expect, right? In Rondo, the hot drop gets a bit messy. Obscure actually putting up some good numbers this match. But I feel like the rotation into the zone itself was a little bit uneducated, not a lot of scouting done, and because of that, they clash into, I believe it was ETSH at that point, and then a big fumble happens really at that moment, and it does not work out in their favor. So Alpha 7, the fragging is there, but the rotation could have been maybe a little bit better in that mid stage.
We just want to see that fragging for Alpha 7. They'll be able to tie down other stuff with them. Anything that surprised you out of this first game besides E Arena?
Oh, you know what? I'm looking here. I'm liking what we saw from a couple of teams. I maybe just re-highlight Federalis, honestly, from Vitality. I think he did a great job. It was subtle, but he really worked for his team. So for me, yes, Federalis, want to see him in the next game.
I'm going to go for Horror. Really, so happy to see them do well. But of course, it was the E-Arena show, as we know, in Stadium. But E-Arena were just dominating everyone. But Horror, good to see, just like in PMGO Season 1, right? Dominating their respective group. We're #1 in PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta so far. Also a decent start in this tournament. It's just not an E-Arena start, which no one's close.
One team that we haven't really gotten a chance to give props to, especially after that match, is Godlike. Godlike was able to put up a good amount of eliminations in that game. I think they ended up with 7. We saw them take the fight with TT Project as well. We got a chance to talk with S-Power. They're very confident. They're looking to make sure they end up going to the finals like OG was able to do yesterday. And before we actually send it over to Barney, Max, show us again, what were those peaks like? There you go, Barney Lace, take it over while we'll try to see if we can find a zip line to get out from here.
Barney and Lace are on the side of the stage with Alpha 7 Esports! Let's go! Okay, I'm joined by Camilla. I'm joined by Patala, of course, from Alpha 7. First, Camilla, I'd like to ask you, how many of you have come out here to support the team here at PMWC?
We're 30 here, but there are many more coming. We came all the way from Brazil just for this championship, but there are many of us still coming.
Wow, we've got more to come, Lace. Oh my goodness.
And Patala, obviously E-Arena just had a 39-point game. Do you think Alpha 7 can catch them?
Of course, we're gonna destroy them all.
We're gonna destroy them all, Alpha 7!
Yeah, destroy them all. We're 1 game in. I can't believe it. Camilla, obviously this year hasn't been the strongest year for Alpha 7 so far, but obviously that can all change. If you could give a message to the boys competing here on the main stage right now, what would you like to say to them?
I'd like to tell the boys that we really believe them, and we are sure we are taking this trophy to Brazil.
I like that. They're taking it to Brazil. Alpha 7, do you think you can do it? I think they think they can do it. Costas, over to you.
Hands down, probably one of the best supporting staff and fans is Alpha 7. They are fantastic, always here, providing support to the boys on the stage. And again, they're always coming out smiling, no matter what. And you know that's because whenever they go backstage, they're always surrounded by love. So I think for Alpha 7, it is important, it's good. Again, it's just 1 game. It's just 1 game so far. And realistically, that was just the E-Arena show.
Yeah, that's the crazy bit about it, though, right? Is it makes it feel so different in your mind because we do have to reset and accept that was only 1 game.
Yeah.
It might have been, 3 games worth of points. But that's all it was. That was just Rondo playing.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit more of a known territory. Maybe this is where things do return slightly to normality, but hey, we'll see if that energy carries on for E-Arena.
We will. We'll have to see. I mean, for E-Arena, I wouldn't really care if they even went down to 16th here, personally. I think it'll be fine.
You can rest for the day, boys.
You can have a rest. You've done 3 games in 1. But we are heading down towards the south side. This is a hilarious score line that you can see on the left-hand side of your screen there. 29 elims. Next best is 8 because they stole all of them. But Aura, I think a lot of people expected Aura to do well. They got far into that game, sadly weren't able to deal with the 2 Angels spreading their wings and flying down to him, sending him straight back to hell, which was crazy. But nasty playing path to start things off here for our first Erangel of the day. Everyone of our top players is the arena as well. Also unsurprising. But yeah, it's not Tony K. It's not Tony K from Wish. It is just Tony K now. This guy has been putting in work. He's doing a lot of good stuff. Schweppes also, glad to see he is continuing the trend from throughout his career. He's always been a fantastic player. I'm glad he's finding success here now on the arena too.
And there was a lot of success in game one.
Suffering from success now.
Yeah, you think so, mate. If people didn't think about trying to target them, maybe that's going to make you go, you know what, a lot of fans out there.
brother, what is this? What is this? All right, boys, let's just qualify 2 games. We're good to go. Let's do it. They get themselves a really, really nice start here, as do Alpha 7, though, to be fair.
True.
Over towards the north side of Everest. Wolves could probably swing in behind there if they wanted to. Might go past Ruins, something like that. But wait and see. A lot of water in this one. We are cutting out a lot of space early on. Remember, there's this huge amount of fields down towards that south side, so rotating through there. Some of the sight lines might get sketchy for some of our squads.
Yeah, I might change things a little bit with how they play this one, like you say, cutting out a fair amount of that landmass with the first shift on the circle. For some of the teams further back as well, down to, of course, the Sosnovska military base. Gonna have a longer rotate on that one, so you won't be seeing them too much, I'd imagine. But if you want to see something that's absolutely beautiful, get yourself involved with that Naruto event, as you can run in stylish, much like Hora are here, taking the fight straight to Godlike. And that's an opening pick. No follow-up. You are isolated to 1-3 Elin. Godlike down to a trio.
That's a tough thing. That is a tough thing about this kind of playing path, is you're not always going to get your ideal drop spot. For Godlike, they certainly have to go for a split here, but Aura, they're an aggressive team. They're going to see you dropping from the shoots, know that you're a single over towards that position and punish you for it. I don't feel too bad about what happened to Godlike there in terms of the fact that it's difficult, right? If you're Godlike, that kind of playing path doesn't give you a huge amount of options, and Aura just tried to take advantage of it where they could. Playing a little bit fast and loose there, honestly. See if Godlike can bounce back with just the 3, certainly possible.
It's early doors, so no need to hit panic stations just yet. Obviously does make your life a little bit harder on this one to be able to come out swinging into the first more consistent battleground we're going to see today for these squads. But hey, a trio can still get work done. Move up from Hora off the back of it as well, clearing some distance swiftly as they wrap over towards the zone. A7 and the arena are taking some nice distance towards each other as well, splitting off to either side of the coastline so they can loot happily. No reason to stick into each other there.
Tiamba, again, these guys started really well on the last match on Rondo. They look good.
Yeah.
Happy to see them play the way they did. They are rotating to Mills of Power, though, which is somewhat concerning. I don't know if they got the memo that the circle's on the northwest side. But loot is a necessity. And again, with that kind of playing path, you are sort of strapped for options. They'll pick this one up. Head on out later on. There's a lot of teams just not moving either. They know that moving into the circle is going to be tough as it is. I'm half expecting Aura, after situating themselves in Yasnaya, likely will make a northern rotate past shooting range, try and play off the back of that, potentially over towards box compound, take a stop off there.
Bit of an earlier split off as well from S2G. Handled themselves pretty nicely in that opening game on Rondo, to be fair, Blank, with some of the situations they were thrown into. They had good mechanics, at least, with some of the fallbacks.
I also thought that where they set up afterwards on the pillars, that's good. That was good, right? Their initial engagement was clean. Then they had a game plan, set themselves up center, and then we kept pulling over towards stadium, and it was only a matter of time before they got swarmed by tons of teams. But I think the game plan overall and the gun skill that they displayed last game is really promising for S2G.
Yeah.
So for our Turkish fans, you can be pretty happy about that. It is early doors, though. We've got plenty more to watch as the day goes on. Dopeness on the south side. Just coming out from the swamp now, and TT Project similarly trying to rotate up on that west coast. The arena, though, they have laid the flag down. They're rallying around it at the moment. Just towards Hospital was South George Apartments.
Closer and closer as our teams race to get themselves back into a better position inside of the zone and set up on this one. Nongshim Red Force starting to make their entry with a trio from Godlike on a bit of a split of either side. STG going right down through the middle. This is the bridge crossing from Vitality as well. No one there to attempt to deflect it, so it's a free pathway out from Sosnovka to get back to the mainland. They'll be happy with that.
They're spawning it anyway, but again, I feel like this is nerves more than anything, because on this type of circle, you genuinely don't really need to worry about making this bridge crossing. I think it would be almost a bad play from someone to try and camp this, but it's always a possibility, right? So they're going to take it slow in the meantime. Axel's already made it halfway up the bridge and probably is going to try and get a little bit further up here. Federalis holding behind, but they have nothing to worry about. They really don't. I'm genuinely putting that down to nerves here from Team Vitality. But you need speed on this type of circle. You need to get into position. There's not a lot of spaces to take up here.
Yeah, you can't afford to have the paralysis by analysis of wasting too much time on that one. In the midst of all this, we did see that opening knock that came out from Schweppes, now converted into a full elim there. That was Wolves that got slightly too close to the territory of the arena up by the compound. Rest of the team did get out though, Blank, doubled back round Hospital side and got themselves into safety, at least for now.
Yeah, I mean, for E-Arena, they did pull off South George Apartments here. They try to regroup this, which is making a lot of sense to me, because typically on this kind of circle, you are going to get a lot of movement over towards the western side of Everest. This area here, real big funnel for a lot of teams. E-Arena knows they're going to be going against a lot of squads. I think for them, they're coming off such a big high here, but they do need to dial things back. Understand that they can't take too many fights. Third party is going to be galore around this area too. Your GS team over towards that eastern side now. Alpha 7 back to basics in North George.
Well, how that zone was off the back of the plane path we had coming into this one, at least you gifted a fair amount of safety where they've not had to really run too many risks early doors. Over the course of the past 8 minutes, just been able to loot and sit pretty, getting a lay of the land established. Fairly late rotates for some of our squads as well. Obviously, we saw Tiamba Fragment off go over to Milton. They're still going to be coming in late onto this one. And Vitality now entering the safety of the zone that's about to move.
Ooh, okay. E-Arena. I mean, last game they played Stadium. They were there for quite a while, right? So we can say that there was some circle look in that sense, but there was nothing lucky with the way they put down every other squad inside the lobby.
Yeah.
Here they are getting magnetized again, but again, it depends how they want to finish this out. We have seen plenty of teams in Group A get good circles and not really be able to convert off the back of it. Now, I really do want to see another big game from the arena here. Would be fantastic to watch happen. But it will be difficult. It will certainly be difficult, and I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
I mean, at least if you needed a warm-up to prove that they're going to be able to play some very aggressive PUBG Mobile today, that was the game for it. And again, like you say, the circle luck will only go so far. It's more what you do with the position you presented. Very clean last time. Again, a little bit of a gift that they'll be happy with, but more to be done. Potentially a bit of an encounter on the later rotate from our squads outside of the zone, with Godlike getting eyesight back over as well. So room there that things get a little bit panicky. The Hustler crew, Yunbin, even from distance, that's on Shin Red Force getting stuck into the action.
I mean, they've been taken down by Nongshim as well as E-Arena at the same time. I think there was not a huge amount of expectations here for Hustler crew. Go into groups. So I do think that Hustler crew going down again for 2 players. Not sitting on a great average at the moment. They've only got 1 point over these 2 matches so far. Sat down there with TT Project. So I think that Nongshim Red Force want to turn that around. This is a team that is very, very good. Have just come off some big success here, Jackie, this year. Would love to go straight towards the finals. At the very least, qualify through to the next stage of the tournament. But goodness me, if we took a look at the map right now, you can see just how jam-packed it is. We have 1 team playing on Everest in Aura. Everyone else, like I said, is in that horrible tunneled zone on the western side. A few compounds around that area. S2G currently playing that one that sits underneath Everest on the southwest side. That's a good spot to be working with. You can clear a lot of space from there too. The fact that we still have about, what would you say, 30% water in this one, with Everest being a big chunk of it, no one really wanting to move into apartments just yet. It's a nasty circle. So these are the two back-to-back games where it is mechanically and tactically difficult.
And seeing how much of a backup plan you've got in terms of adapting with these circles, like you're saying, it's not a regular game.
It's not normally.
Solving. No, it's not, but... Oh, no.
In the world is that? Makes you want to be sick, honestly. That is gross. E-Arena's probably going to regroup over towards our western side, potentially, with the rest of the team. Take no chances here. You cannot be greedy on a circle like this. You've got to shore up your front at the moment. Make sure you drop the riot shield, because teams are going to be coming at you thick and fast in the near future. Alpha 7 sit all the way over towards the peninsula on that northwest side. Oh, this is disgusting, mate.
Yeah, this is absolutely unbelievable. All of our squad still alive and kicking. Such limited space. Such little ground left to play with on the mainland. A few shots being taken out from various squad. Wolves continue to be fought by E-Arena. TT getting stuck in versus Vitality as well. This is the fight that's going on right here, right now. Neos down behind the back of the vehicle. Effect and Zerich, they just got to call it quits.
Yeah, TT Project just got to move on this one. You got to get further in towards the circle here. Difficult push out for Yangon Galacticos, stuck on radio tower right now, held out by Nongshim Red Force, who are looking to be the arbiters of the fields. Playing Scarecrow right now versus all the Crows coming up from that south side.
And once again, already it's E-Arena that have been able to find themselves free elims with the picks they've secured. You got that wrap over the top of the bridge from George Paul as well that's coming in from ETSH as they're going to look to try and chase and get into a good stable position inside of the zone. Ravo with a pickup. That's one back over on at 72, one GS.
Ada now moving forward, adrenaline shot in at stage 3. I mean, it's got to be done. The boys got 2 of them. You need a lot of adrenaline to make your way through these next circles. It is pain that is ahead for a lot of these teams. How well can they weather it? Can they grit their teeth and hang on? Aura, Jiggle looking forward now. Yangon Galacticos dropping some shots down towards them. AUG in hand. Aura though still doing well, honestly, over towards this eastern side.
You see the sheepish nature of it. We're going to replay here of the fight. Oh, cinematic on that one. That was the follow-up pick onto Ephes. Neons was already down in the back line. Good defense there to make it very uncomfortable for TT that left as a duo. Emre from Ida with a shot onto Godlike as well.
I will say though, man, this is a really cool push that we kind of missed from S2G. They were playing down towards the southwest side, remember. This is a hell of a swing they've been able to make over towards the north side of the circle. We're getting our next one coming in through now. How much water is going to be in play? Oh. What is this? What are we doing? We got to stop.
It just keeps going. Less and less land mass left as the squads have to fight and step over each other to have any sort of stable ground within this one. Vitality have had some uncomfortable fights to force into a stable location on the zone. They did shut down a good majority of Tian, but leaving them with just the solo.
The play zone taking out Tiamba there just feels poetic right now because it is the circle that's doing the brunt of the damage right now. We're playing all the way over towards the western fin of Georgia Pole. And these players have to tread water going forward. This is getting messy, it's getting nasty. Alpha 7 set themselves up beautifully on this game. Making the necessary maneuver, hanging out all the way towards the beachhead.
Nice nade lineup. Tiamba trying to stay alive as they bounce either side of the vehicle. Bit of chip damage. Hoping he can clutch on to his life at this point. ETSH, after completing their long rotate, do run into Yangon once again. And for the reigning champions, it's not been a great start to the tournament so far. Back-to-back blows taken their way. Vitality trying to win out versus Non-Shin Red Force. Yangon left with just Smile, but that might turn into a frown if they can get the angle onto him. Cleaning up with the elims, make it uncomfortable for ETSH at least, but this goes both ways.
Good molly, good molly. Ensures he can try and get the res off upstairs, but he's got to be quick about this. Fajita with a nade, looks to post it up. It's looking decent, tries to get the airburst on the balcony, I like that. But Smile dropped off the top side. He's doing good work here. A grin appearing on his mouth. Now looks for one more, steps up and gets it. A 1v4 essentially for Smile. Insane stuff. Now S2G holding up against GS.
Kamikaze with the move. Does he expect the backstab? Running around with a Bizon, closes the gap. A good reposition from Lost, finds the angle through the window and gets that one on target. Vitality on the move up around the coast as well. Rita trying to keep Razy in the backline, pinned on the coast. S2G still fighting whilst Hora find that angle onto Smile. Yangon lived for a little bit longer, but it finally comes to an end.
Aura now looking out. I mean, Aura had a decent game last time around with Pip to the post on the chicken dinner. With a good setup on this northeast side. We've got to go further though. S2G's in the way. Again, S2G, blinder or rotate from them, look fantastic. Don't know how they managed to snake their way over towards that spot, but it has absolutely paid dividends now. Dopeness caught on the outside. Eagle is still alive, by the way. No clue how. He is just healing it out. Sleepy, though. AWM, nasty headshot, brings the pain.
It's Joker that we've got here running from tree to tree, looking for a backstab onto the Dopeness crew. Was their setup. Smokes down, trying to give themselves some soft cover to play off the back of the engine of the vehicle there. Paterni K giving the game away. Lufa with a push. Ooh, it gets a bit awkward on the run-up, though. I mean, Joker's low. If you can at least close the gap, maybe a single knock to give them an edge to work with. Panic stations coming in. Paterni K falls. Eagle with the steal. Hello.
That's from distance. I mean, they had to quickly turn around there. He was causing big problems for them. Speaker will find out with Beryl. E-Arena, though, they have to regroup on this. They were trying to play Garden and Architect, pull out all the weeds on the south side, but not meant to be here. But now they have an angle on what's been causing them problems, where they've been feeling that ache.
We've got the gamble played from Rita that he set up quite some time ago, going for the wide berth over towards the zone.
What's this? Just disgusting. I mean, no one's having a good time right now. We are going out into open zone. The wall's been pretty much giving themselves a lovely little lifeline here as they get towards the top 8, and Necessary might just make it through. Grab himself a loot crate off the back of it as well. See how far this lone wolf can go.
It's a similar situation, man. This is what Ida wanted to go for, with Rita just swimming. Going for his wrap on his own. Razy looked to try and close the distance, going for a similar sort of play. Had a bit of a vehicle there down towards the coast to at least get some distance on it. Alpha 7, meanwhile, they've been sitting and waiting for a fight to come to them just on the ridge of the zone. Vitality have been farming up the elims as well. A bit of a sleeper team with how they've just third-partied onto a lot of these fights. But E-Arena, finally, their eyes light up and they want to go for the wrap straight in.
This is what E-Arena had to do. It's a miracle, by the way, that they get 3 players over towards this location, because Vitality, they were waiting for that moment, waiting for them to leave the building. Luckily, they rotate over towards the roadside, get a tiny bit of sightline cover. And now they set Alpha 7 up in front of them. This is a great position to guard off against. S2G also similarly tries to make a good rotate, but it's Alpha 7 still taking those shots. E-Arena similarly also sending bullets their way. Aura makes a move in the midst of all the chaos on the northern coast.
S2G down and out as they take shots from all sides, leaving them in a brutal position. Brittle, though, is Alpha 7 with a peek up towards the top. Good shots in. Vitality finally take the fight back over to E-Arena. They wanted to catch them on the egress. Instead, they'll push. Nades over the top flank, good chip damage, Mormon low, but they failed, going over towards the coast. Necessary sat there with a Mini 14.
It's a wild push-up from E-Arena. They're just looking for anything. Necessary will find Schweppes, though. That's big, and E-Arena now left as one. Joker, on the barest amount of life, finally goes down. E-Arena is out. They tried to scatter. Vitality forcing them out the way. A 12 elim game here on Erangel is pretty damn good, honestly, from where they were playing.
Alpha 7 and Vitality. Two organizations that will look to take blow for blow right here and prove how much they can do. Paranoia about Necessary deep back on the tip of the map that's still in play. Rita still going for his lengthy rotate to give himself a chance to steal away points from the other remaining squads, and Hora keeping it calm on the coast.
Rita's got the scuba gear on right now, looking to make landfall eventually. Razy, grenade up front. Surprised Carrillo was able to sidestep that one. It is scary though, having Razy and Razak together here. M79 pulled out to try and create a little bit of cover in front of them, but don't know if he's got any more shells left in that bad boy. Revo moves up though, nade in hand, pulls out his a little bit later than Vitality. We've got to keep on that fight though. Axel opens up towards Revo. We want to see what's going on. Carrillo's down, Obscure might be next, leaving them just one player now. Gui's out on top side, gets absolutely obliterated, and Vitality full of life with his endgame.
They line them up and knock them down. Vivi Vitality as they're coming alive in France. 15 elims on the game so far. And for Alpha 7, it all falls onto the solo. What can you do? That's a big nade to open it. Goodbye, Razy. As Alpha 7 are looking to clap straight back and give as good as they get, but Hora see them. Backstab shots from No Fear.
Guizau's got limited time though. The Blues start to move in, rolling towards him. It's an inexorable approach, terrifying. Razy likely not to get back up, but Necessary still alive here. Like we said, the lone wolf living his dream as he gets up towards the top four. Hora might have been pipped the post last game, but they're going for the chicken.
Oh, another nade.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, it's brutal, but try as he might to hold on. He got the 2 clean knocks with the utility, but it's not enough in the full fight. But this has left a broken and bruised Vitality with only a solo, forced to get their players up. Hora cleared out Wolves.
Potential a full regroup here though for Vitality. Where do they go? They can play this ridge line, swings up slightly, but what do you do after that? The game might just slow down, and Aura 400, 556. They are ready for a spray down, but Vitality, I don't know how good the util's looking, how good the supplies are looking on side, and versus a full 4-man all spread out along the coast. This is an impossible push for them to make. Hora might have got second last time, but they are looking for the first.
Hora, they've got Sleepy, the sniper with a hell of a scope, waiting for the opportunity to leave them broke on the peak over the top of the ridge. If Vitality come into this, it's going to be on the back foot, an uphill battle, down a man, draining their resources, like you say, whilst Hora are just waiting to strike.
All quiets down now. They need an opener. The smokes are out. Vitality's got no choice but to try and isolate here. Luckily, they've got vehicles. They set up now. They put the pedal to the metal. Now looking to move over towards Hora's side. Swinging out into the open. Razy wraps round. Sky also similarly layering on the backside here. Can't quite find the shots here. Sleepy digging those bullets into the backside of the vehicle, creating those dents, but Circle moves away now. How do they approach this? It feels like an impossible game here for Vitality.
Such an open field. No cover, no chance. The only play that they can make is to take the fight straight to their face as they drive back behind the steering wheel and go in swift. Sleepy with a warning shot. Whoa. The buggy comes by. Close quarters engagement as Vitality look to hold on. No Fear down. More damage done. Sky replies onto one. It's all on a solo of Axel as he looks to cook his way through them.
Sleepy up front, pulls out the AUG, the AWM doing nothing for him. Axel, last left alive here, an incredible player on 9 elims this game. It's a hard fight though, a 1 versus 2. Molotov goes long, he runs straight into it though, keeps backing off into the nades. It might be lights out for Axel soon.
Oh, that's the nade to do it as Hora. With a hefty bombardment on the beach, they lay claim to the second chicken dinner and light up Paris once again.
Hora though, it was instantaneous response, the speed at which they came through. Oh my days. Gaines pulled out in the second game. Good for him.
Beautiful action there. Hora locked in, understanding their rotation, the best opportunity to try and force Wolves out of that solo position that was giving them so much control. To third party into the back, controlled everything blank, and left Vitality effectively in an open island. No cover, no chance. Axel gave it his best, but an upward battle.
I mean, Axel, he was spinning like crazy that game. Smoke on the tires because 9 elims almost made it more than that. What a wild performance from him, not only on that game, but last game too, when they were trying to make their way up towards the stadium. It is funny that we had Hora, Vitality in that top 3 on Rondo, now in the top 3 again here over on Erangel. We seem to have a couple of favorites here, Jackie.
Yeah, already establishing some of our lobby leaders potentially. And not even one of those statements where we'd say at the end of day 1, at the end of game 1, now going into game 2, like you say, mate, it's just becoming very crystal with a lot of the squads that are looking incredible out here. This is the final moment replay as well. You can see back how rough it was for Axel.
It's so unfortunate, well, because the Molotov went far. I think he could have stayed playing against that vehicle. He makes the right call in the moment because that Molotov's placed correctly. He can't play up front, but it's a very, very hard decision to make in the moment. But again, it did feel like Vitality could have made that work. And I wasn't joking when I said that felt like an impossible game. It really was.
They had no cover. They had no pathway.
Oh, right.
They went for the call and nearly did it. Ridiculous. Let's get down on this stage and find out from themselves.
All right, well, yes, thank you very much. I'm Claris down here on the stage. I am with E-Arena, though, and it's Joker here to talk about that first game, honestly, because that might have been the best game in PUBG Mobile history. I want to get your thoughts about that game, what was going on in the team comms, the feeling after that first game.
เราอยากมาพูดเรื่องเกมแรกนะครับตอนนั้นเราเก็บไก่ไปได้เลยนะตั้งแต่เกมแรกเลยเรามองว่ามันเป็นเกมที่แบบว่าดีที่สุดตั้งแต่เราเคยเล่นกันเลยมาเลยนะฮะอยากถามว่าตอนนั้นเรารู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับแล้วก็ทีมคอมแล้วก็บรรยากาศในทีมมันเป็นยังไงบ้างครับ
จริงๆจังหวะนั้นเราไม่ได้คิดอะไรเลยครับแค่ไล่ตีในเมืองของเราให้หมดแล้วก็ไม่คิดว่าจะไก่คิวเยอะขนาดนั้นครับ
Alright, to be honest, we didn't expect that we're gonna get that much kill, and like so what we plan during that time is just like keep getting into the city and like hit like one by one into the city at a time.
Okay, so very quickly here as well, after that performance, after looking fantastic already here, any words for the fans, everybody kind of watching for E-Arena out at home as well, because I'm sure a lot of people are very excited about that first performance.
หลังจากที่ทุกคนได้เห็นได้ดูเกมแรกแล้วนะเชื่อว่าหลายๆคนตอนนี้กำลังจับตาน้องทีมของเราอยู่นะฮะอยากถามว่าเรามีอะไรฝากถึงพวกเขาบ้างครับก็ฝากเป็นกำลังใจให้E-Arenaนะครับหนึ่งเดียวจากไทยครับก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ที่สุดครับ Alright, to everyone, please supporting us. We are the E-Arena, the only one and the only hope of Thailand.
All right, well, thank you very much. Making PMWC history here. E-Arena looking awesome.
E-Arena hitting us with the only hope for Thailand. Well, that hope is looking pretty damn good. And you know who else is looking good? Hora! As they were... you too, Max. You too, honestly.
I mean, horror, what an absolute banging game for Nepal, right? You start off with a second place in one of the weirdest opening games ever in an international tournament. And then, how about we do get that win here on a beach finish that we rarely see at any tournament whatsoever. And oh my goodness, I mean, for you in particular, Neptura, you're a big fan of snipers. Sleepy, the bolt action, oh my god, Nepal is here to play.
Oh, it's so nice to see it. So nice to see it at a global tournament. Finally, it's been years, it feels like. He's still one of the only players that uses a bolty. We need to have that more often, and maybe after this game, other players will go, maybe it's not such a bad idea to have an absolute god at sniping on your team, because oh my, that is exactly what you want to see. You're getting those long-range shots coming on through. Really, really good stuff. But Horror in general really able to circumnavigate a whole lot of traffic coming on through there, Max. You know, over on that beach side, one of the only plays they could have made, and it worked really, really well.
Max, remind me which bolt he was using?
The Orm.
The Arm. All right, Lace. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here. I want you to give me the best sound possible. Keep in mind, Sniper is going to sound amazing.
The best sound.
Every shot is like pure ASMR.
Yeah.
Boom. Baby.
All right, Max, you next.
Okay, on me.
On him. Put it on him.
On me.
Get the camera on this, man. Boom.
Mine was better.
Nep, you're next. You're next.
ASMR.
All right, get ready.
That sounded
Arm sound. AWM. Come on. Choom. What?
Did you sneeze? That was a sneeze.
What? Okay, for everybody that has been making videos of PMWC at EWC 26, there you go. There's the challenge. Go back to that last game, have Sleepy, and replace those sounds and see which one was the best. Make sure you guys share it on social media using the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. But talking about teams that were able to perform so good, we have to talk about Vitality, Lace.
Man, the whole entire game from them was absolutely incredible. They basically had bridge. They were able to hold that position so early. They were the Zone 3 gatekeepers of that entire match. They had direct lines of sight on everybody that was rotating in such a difficult choke point where they had to rotate. They actually left Reezy behind to scout E-Arena's movements. They basically waited. They flanked on in there, right behind them while they were in contention. And I mean, they reserved so much utility to be able to take on E-Arena and get them out of their way. And then obviously they set their sights on Alpha 7. Alpha 7 had nowhere else to go but to exit building, so they'll be able to do that. And especially this play, I mean, such a large distance to be able to go. They luckily had the vehicles, and I mean, fell a little bit short here, just having, you know, Axel could have sit back a little bit too far, but what an incredible game from them. Not the first place that they're probably hoping for, but goddamn, that's some eliminations they put on the board.
Oh, goddamn indeed. No, but looking at Vitality, I feel like the moment that allowed them to get into a second place in the first place is actually when they decided to push up onto E-Arena, leapfrog Alpha 7 in one fell swoop, and the fight was so quick, Alpha 7 just didn't have the time to retaliate. And because of that, Vitality, what an absolute banging performance. 23 points here on the second game of today. Whew, La France is looking pretty good.
They are looking really good. I mean, Vitality, 23 points. Now, this is what I was talking about Group B. We were expecting teams to be a lot more aggressive. We're expecting teams to start sponging up those points towards the top. And so far, after 2 matches, that's exactly what's currently happening. With Alpha 7, we see them now being able to have back-to-back good performances. This is what we want to see out of PMGC champion.
It is, absolutely. It's really nice to see them make a little bit of a comeback bit by bit here. I'm going to be expecting them to continue that, much like Orangutan in Group A, right? In day 1, they're just going to be continuing to grow and grow and grow that momentum, hopefully for day 2. So we will see how that goes. But for now, you know, 9 points on game 2 is a really, really decent start for them. So yeah, I am happy with them so far.
Yeah, and I mean, they have such a powerful roster as well, and Revo was definitely kicking it for them. This type of squad can focus on eliminations. We saw that coming out of match 1. They actually, like, held out Wolves in several scenarios. Then, in this second match, they focused on placement and prioritized that. They were actually on that northern side, uncontested for a long time, obviously sitting and building and waiting for the likes of Vitality to come along. But it shows the strength in different sides that this squad can play, and especially when you come into Smash Rule, you know, you want to be able to prioritize eliminations, but get these placements as well.
Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect timing. Like we were talking about them too. A7, the greatest PUBG Mobile team in history. I think the Alpha 7 fans will end up agreeing with that one because so far, I mean, they have been one of the most consistent teams when we talk about PUBG Mobile esports history. Nongshim Red Force, though, they've not been having one of the best starts so far.
I'm very surprised by Nongshim. I thought
Surprised in what kind of way? Tell us more, please.
Okay, I will. All right. Where are they? They are silent. They're not doing anything. I thought,
He's on Furia silence. What are you talking about? Sorry, that was terrible. I'm sorry.
But PMMI, massive champions, by Smash rule, all of that sort of thing, coming into here looking very, very, very good. And then we have, what, 2 0-pointers or a 2-point and a 0-pointer? I'm confused and surprised, and hopefully that will change as we go on into the next couple of games. But yeah, bit odd, I think.
I'm sad. I don't have any analysis. There's nothing really to break down except that the early rotations, they can't quite get in there. I didn't see the start of this game because we were running from the rooftop over to here, so I'll have to go back and check it out and break down what really happened to Nongshim Red Force. But it was good, but unfortunately it's a very exclusive club, you know, on the rooftop. Only us and E-Arena can go on rooftops. That's all we can do.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Lays, you'll join us at the beginning of the show.
Fine, I don't want the
I'll make sure it happens, all right? I'll make sure you get that wind flowing and just while you're talking. But no surprise seeing E-Arena currently in first place with 46 points with the amazing performance that this squad had in the first round, though. No surprise. Team Vitality there with that second. Remember, if you for some reason missed the first 2 days of PMWC at EWC 26, the top 5 teams at the end of tomorrow will be going directly to the finals. The bottom 3 will end up going home, and everybody in between will go to survival. And yeah, I mean, TT Project, Hustler Crew as well. One team that wasn't able to perform that well here in this, Aaron Gill, was Godlike. Godlike started off hot, and we were kind of joking about it. The first game that they get a chance to experience at a global event is none other than a stadium finish. But here, we're going to have to see a bit of a bounce back.
I mean, to be fair, I'm going to be so fair to them. You said, yes, their first rondo in a global is going to be a stadium finish. Their first Erangel on a global finish is north of Zarki on a beach, or not Zarki, but the South George. Thank you. Yeah. South George. On a beach? Excuse me? No, thank you. So you know what? I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack and go, when we have a normal zone, then I'll start talking about them.
Now we're going to get a weird circle again. Thank you. You did that.
I'm not cutting slack.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to be cutting any slack. I want this team to start performing and performing now. Because we saw what ended up happening yesterday. And with Godlike, the thing with Godlike is we know that they can definitely put up the numbers. We know they have the fragging power. And with the audience that they have behind them, and with what we saw OG coming out of them, I know they might be able to bounce back. And we'll see how they're going to be able to bounce back towards today. But while we're at it, before we start match 3, let's send it over to Kalaris and John Allen.
That's right. Well, you know what? Here on the stage, we could talk about Game 2. We could.
Well, Game 2, sure, lovely. But what about Game 1, though? That was some interesting stuff coming through from E-Arena.
Yeah.
They swept the floor with everybody.
Yeah, it was impressive, really impressive. So much minutia in it as well, right? They even, not only did they not get challenged in Stadium to start things off, but sent 2 north to actually shore up their bets against the circle if it had come down, and then moved back. So it was anything but passive. And the crazy thing about all the eliminations, none of them were recall elims. So it makes it even more insane that that rondo could ever happen like that.
Yeah, 29 elim game is unheard of at this level. It is incredible stuff to be able to witness. And like you said, none of them are recall, so it wasn't like they were getting stuck in Neox or in one of those other hot drop locations. They were absolutely keen to get straight into the action. As soon as those recall towers closed off, they were like, no, we're just going to play bread and butter.
And you can see the double drop here as well to kind of look at how they're able to seal the deal. Not only that, are able to defend the zipline locations to make sure nobody else was coming up on the roofs. So it was picture perfect. And you know the crazy thing? Before I had that interview with Joker, he said it was lucky. And I'm like, I don't think it was lucky at all. That's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you very much for this, John. It is time now to head on over to the commentator team. Once again, game number 3, well underway.
The perfect hit from John to get us back over to the commentary booth as we set the stage for another game here live from Paris. A lot of energy in the building, a lot of excitement. And we got the Alpha 7 fans in the house! about a team that might need a bit more energy. Let's hear it for Godlike! Hey! There we go. That's what I wanted to hear, Paris. Give us some of that. Let's get loud as we get into our third game of the day.
They need that energy. They need it now. But honestly, not doing too badly so far. E-Arena took to the stage on that first game of Vitality. Aura not far behind. Alpha 7 been ticking along too, 16 points. S2G, big surprises right now. 15 points so far, looking fairly good. 13 eliminations, because this what this shows me is that the gun skill is there for this squad. They've only been getting 2 points off the back of placements right now, but S2G bringing some of that action to the arena at the moment. Lovely to see. Another awkward playing path down from Sosnovka, very east leaning here. See where these players want to drop in. Vitality out early down towards Sosnovka. A little bit of a journey for themselves to get up towards that north side, but should be fine. We'll wait for the circle to come on through. Right now, Axel leading in top players, and for a good reason. This guy has been popping off between games.
And with what we've already had today, Blank, it feels like there's been something different in the air for these circles, for these games. Are we getting another ridiculous affair again? Do you reckon this will be normality?
Well, Neptune already jinxed it, didn't she? So we'll see. Again, the circle might be kind to us coming through to game 3. These players sort of need a break at this point. It's been wild so far. Some teams have been able to roll with the punches, others not so. We're heading down towards the south side. This is your fault, Neptune. You got to take ownership of this one. We'll see who comes through with it. Vitality, they'll get themselves a nice start on this one. Down towards the south side. No eking their way up past the coast on the western side. They get to start in a good position. This could head back over towards the northwest side. But Godlike already taking 2 knocks here. S-Power has to hold it down.
Let's see if they can withstand the full frontal assault that's coming their way as S-Power opens it back up onto Loco. Oh, close quarters engagement with the shotgun. Good pre-fire on the angle. Vinny gets it done. It's not the start they wanted.
Hustler crew has been dropping on teams all day today. Do not care one bit. They lose Loco in the process, but feels like they've got their job done there. I think Godlike might need to start figuring out how they want to drop this one out, because they are going for this trash drop, right? They're going for split loot around apartments. I think personally, maybe they need to start dropping together, because where they're dropping isn't bad. It's bad because it's bad now because people keep dropping on top of them all the time. It's so tough to work with. So Godlike might need to make a change in that category. Also, I mean, Hustler crew has just been all over the place. It's hard to predict for Godlike.
Keeping them guessing. And that change of drop, that change of pace has certainly been hurting some of our teams. Brutal to position to be left in immediately, Blank. Less than 4 minutes into the game, you're down to a solo. Hustler crew getting away. Yeah, sure, you take some damage, but a trio could still look to weave their way through. Squeeze a few more points out of this one, the longer it develops.
The skin there as well, you can join Naruto Uzumaki himself with the new Ninetales Fury Orc skin. Looks fantastic. 2 versions of it too. Love to see it. Get angry. Feel that rage from the Ninetales in game, because it looks awesome as well. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic skin. We'll see what Mania can get done here. For Godlike, it's just been an unfortunate start for them. I mean, starting off with Horror dropping on them into Hustler crew, I do feel bad for them. I really do. We'll see if they can pick things back up going in towards our 4th Erangel of the day and into our Miramars. We've seen that anything can happen. They can still work their way back up those rankings. Down towards that south side, that S2G do move on through. A quick replay. I mean, S-Power did hold it down. He's only got Micro Uzi to work with. It's hard. It's hard in those situations. A vest as well, level 1 helmet. The fact that he held on as long as he did was pretty insane, to be honest, as well.
Yeah, it could have been way worse.
Ooh, Axel again. Still putting on those numbers. Goodness me, he is fearsome. Again, coming into this for Vitality, there was a lot of talk around Razy and Razak, and I've seen these guys perform before. They look great, but the fact that Axel is just like, guys, we got to get through here. We got to get into the top 5. We're making it through to finals. We're going to do Indonesia proud.
And they're certainly living up to the hype right now with some of the plays that are being made. We've seen these awkward encounters happening down towards Novka as well with the shots over. Everyone taking a few casualties here and there. Wolves only getting away with a duo off the back of things, and S2G falling very early here.
For S2G, they stepped a little bit too close to Vitality's home ground down towards his south side. They want to clear out more space. You got Razak as well as Federales holding over towards the bridge, whilst Razy as well as Axel currently holding down C block. They have a lot of area to work with. They are feeling unbelievably confident. Hustler crew still causing problems for people around the map.
Oh, swing out. Close quarters connections onto the Hustler crew. That's your single knock to play with, looking for more as they do take the fight back over to Vinny. Nade in the hand for the close quarters shutdown. It's good damage, but can't find a follow through with a shotgun. Not able to withstand it as they are down and out. Revenge there for their hot drop.
GS getting away with that one in school. Now they do certainly teach Hustler crew a lesson. But we'll need to get on the bus right now to get down towards the south side of the map. Curious to see where this next circle goes, because this could be another nasty one where we end up on the bridge. Wouldn't surprise me after the circles we've seen today. Alpha 7 still keeping it pretty chilled out over towards Milta. Moved away from North George over towards this location of the map, considering the plane path itself. E-Arena, though, they took way longer. I mean, they wrapped back up towards South George. Going to loot in this area, get as much as possible. I think they understand it's going to be a late rotate in, either on the bridge or send Primorsk and grab some boats.
There's our Alpha 7 cameo as well. All together, getting their move on with the hovercraft, crossing from the mainland back over. Tianba had that similar rotation, of course, as they do glide their way around. A few more style points on that one, Blank.
Oh, definitely. Line for the air does feel good. I mean, for Alpha 7, though, this is going to be feeling weird for them. Like, a lot of times when they make this approach, they're always expecting teams to be holding in Novo. Yangon Galacticos, on the other hand, though, they've headed over towards Observatory. They've got a split there. They're trying to hold out all teams. SayCloud down towards the south side, though, is peeking over towards Alpha 7, but the hovercraft means they can immediately get out of the water and get on the move. You can just see him there, off in the west-hand side.
This was the S2G fight where they were taken out by TT Project, the duo that tried to get away after their encounter versus Vitality. TT once again right here, right now, taking pot shots onto Dopeness bit by bit.
I mean, for TT Project, they know they've got to get some aggression under the belt right now. They are low down in the rankings, and they can't afford to let this game keep going the way it is. Ephius finishing out Kenji, and I think that might just be Dopeness out now. We've already lost 3 teams. Hustler Crew, Dopeness, S2G, down to 13, 47 players this stage of the game. It's quite carnage, quite a lot of carnage happening on the map at the moment.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more standard.
Yeah, this is probably better for us and for the teams, Blank.
Centering up, we do have those buildings that sit down towards the ridge side on the eastern edge that currently Vitality just have free reign over. Razak might try and regroup. I think it might be a bit dangerous now, holding over towards C block as long as he does. So this is sensible, this is mature coming through from Vitality. They know that a lot of teams would like to take up position towards here. They don't want to leave it up to chance. 2 players getting run down. And even as I say that, Wolves start to make their way up, but they're caught up in between. TT Project.
For what it's worth, they're keeping the heat on TT with how Wolves have played this one. A good squad individually. Zerix cleaning out towards the ground floor, makes it look simple as he busts around the door, waving the 4-4. Zerix with a nade.
Nice.
Ooh, beautiful bounce on it.
Might be able to pick up effect here, but Vitality is having none of it. They hear the shots, they hear the fighting, they take down effect and then clear out another building. This is just space gained, space garnered right now for Vitality.
You might think Vitality are going to clean up on this one, mate. Watch this from Zerich. I can feel the energy rising. Looks to get the nade into the back line. Decent chip damage as they're bombarding. 4, 5 nades. One after another, keeping them pinned in position. Razy with a wrap round the back, looking for the angle in. Federales advances with Axel. It's a good knock. Zerich down.
Just an unbelievable amount of pressure being applied right now by Vitality. Axel behind him, Neos drops out, but Vitality looks clean. Not a single player lost on the knock here. And a reset, actually, because of Vitality, they've been watching out for a lot of players where they're coming from. Getting a full amount of utility, a full amount of supplies from that squad, that's really good at resupplying them going forward too. And again, more space gained for them. They don't want anyone coming close to those buildings on the eastern side of that ridge. This is their area to play.
Tiamba caught vision as well of Alpha 7 here. Wide play space to work with. Decent amount of cover in between the trees. Just trying to wait for an overextension. Can't really hard commit and hold the angle right now if you leave yourself exposed to the crosshairs, and Alpha 7 don't want to waste too much time amongst this until they feel they've got an edge.
Revel. Gonna wrap down, try and deny some of the sidelines, get over towards the airstrip. Maybe a bit further here. Circle could shift very far over towards the western side on this next circle, potentially. Instead it goes central, over towards Millibase itself. Manya set up on the southern side of C block here. Trying to keep it as quiet as possible here for Godlike, trying and get towards those later placements. Nongshim, honestly, like I said before, a strong team, but we have not seen a massive amount of that. And again, we have had these pretty crazy, quirky circles so far. Maybe they haven't been able to excel on those. Potentially here, we can see something a bit different.
Yeah, definitely a known quantity with a ton of talent. But like you say, maybe not just been the right place at the right time with the abstract nature of the first 2 games we've had today as we've kicked off the action. Group B, bringing the heat here. A lot of very explosive teams. Not in the worst position with the hilltop control and cover to work with. They'll have the lay of the land over the Vitality split if they advance towards them. It was a later rotate as well from Hora that's still been developing in the back. That's why we haven't seen them for some time.
Irina, in the meantime, did make the cross, by the way. Over towards the western side. They are rocking up over towards that ridge. There was a 2-2 here from Vitality. Irina rocking up on it right now. It's a little bit scary here, but immediately Vitality's backing off the angle. But they have information now. That's the big thing. Will Irina catch any of them in the process? Manya now up against Yangon Galacticos as a solo.
Could have had the drop on him. Manu was hoping to at least get that one clothesline play. Introduce him to the shotgun, but he's exposed to Smile through the window. And Yangon do shut down the final member of Godlike as another squad exits stage left.
Irina playing this one slow at the moment. Again, I love the way these 2 teams have played this one out. Irina was cautious on the approach. Vitality didn't want to hold this position any longer. Quick regroup down towards the eastern side. Like, honestly, Vitality's playing like a finals team right now. This is really, really cool to see. Layering up towards Irina. They've got the hovercraft in play. I think for Razak's got to be careful here, though. Yes, he can keep gathering information. Make sure he knows exactly when Irina moves, where they move to, so they can plan out the rest of the game ahead of this. It is slightly dangerous versus Turney Caves playing on the top of the building.
You talk about slightly dangerous. This could be somewhat lethal. ETSH have to basically fight their way through the Ida blockade that is set up watching the bridge. Crystal clear line of sight. Looking to fire some shots onto them. The zone shifting in favor of Vitality's current position as well, with E-Arena in close proximity, and that battle does break out. Knockback over onto Emre, it seems like, though, for Ida. It's not gone anywhere near as cleanly as they were hoping for.
It's pretty messy both sides. I mean, Ida has the opportunity to get all the players back up again. They're outside in the play zone. So one player goes down there. Emre potentially getting him back up again, leaving them as 3. But Aura, they sense blood in the water. They move up. Darkin with a P90. Looks to take some shots over towards him. But again, Horror. This is horrifying, honestly, for Ida. They're just poking their head slowly over the top, making it uncomfortable right now for them.
You think with that very delayed rotate, they went all the way around the east side over the other bridge. Haven't had too many opportunities to get elims on this game. 32 points coming into it in 3rd place in the overall standings after our previous 2 games. They're going to want a chance to fight, add a little bit more to that. But that wasn't the hard commit onto Ida. Like you say, get a bit of a read off and try and stay safe. Rest of our teams now focusing on forging a path ahead back into the zone.
Well, the thing is that for Aura, they have to be very careful here. They know there's a ridge line that sits down over towards Nongshan Red Force. They can play that, but they also understood they didn't want to get too involved with Ida, considering that the main rotational path here for most teams is over the northern side, over the rolling hills, and then swinging by E-Arena and then trying to play off that ridge there. So for Horror, I think they just take their chances. They move down towards the high ground. They're going to isolate a lot this northeast side of the map whilst keeping their back cleared from Nongshan Red Force as well as Vitality.
Alpha 7 in a pretty good position as well to possibly rearm themselves with some higher tier loot off the back of the drop. One of the times we've seen them not really taking early casualties as well, so we get the full force of Alpha 7 where they play their best PUBG Mobile. E-Arena seeing the wrap round from Ida. And that seems to have caught their attention, perked their eyes up a little bit, but they're going straight down towards Tianba territory.
I mean, right now for Ida, they were just shepherded by E-Arena in the hovercraft, and Ida does make their way up towards the building, but this is an uncomfortable position to be playing. Alpha 7 off the distance also trying to get involved there. In the midst of the chaos, Darko with the P90 goes extremely low, but for Tianba, they don't want to really leave these buildings too much. Everyone understanding that there are so many positions to play here. There are so many sightlines at play as well, that it's difficult to be making those rotations. I mean, Ida just felt the full force of 5 different teams all taking shots towards them.
Terrified of E-Arena, forced into Tianba, and then skewered by the backstab of Vitality. Alpha 7 even assessing the situation to see when they want to make a move. Zone still crunching in. Last few squads making their rotate in.
Yeah. I mean, this is playable though, right? That's the problem for Alpha 7 right now. This is very playable in terms of the ridge line. They've got ahead of them that slight slope that looks upwards. Until they're forced to move, I don't think they're pulling off this position anytime soon. Aura opens up over towards Smile. Behind the missiles. Want to see if they can find Romeo underneath. Sleepy looking to do his best anti-aircraft. Over towards these guys, clip their wings at distance, but this time he's got the DBS in hand, no Balti in play.
Nade after nade to keep the pressure on downhill. A bit of extra distance on that one. Nongshan Red Force still sitting pretty inside of the defensive area they set up for themselves, whilst Alpha 7 go from playing passive to pouncing on a team. 72 1GS taking casualties. Tianba also find an opportunity to get involved. And Alpha 7 collapse onto it now, Blank. Clean up through action.
That's really good. They spotted an opportunity, opened up over towards GS, and were able to find a fair few elimination off the back of it. Yangon Galacticos also do move down this way, tails between their legs after that initial engagement with Aura earlier on. Not the spot they want to be in, and suddenly they find themselves with neighbors here in Alpha 7. 2 champions up against one another now.
But the issue is, Blank, heavy are the heads that wear the crown. And it's Yangon Galacticus that need to stand their ground and defend. versus a reinvigorated Alpha 7 with a point to prove.
It's a real big opportunity there for Revo. 6 nades though, and a rough idea of where they're playing. That might just be enough.
Good arc on the first two. Initial chip damage to aid them in the fight, but no overcommitment. Seeing more of that dynamic tempo they were talking about in some of the early interviews this event, saying they know when to be aggressive now, but they know when to rein it in and try and reset.
Yeah. Again, I think that was the big thing for Alpha 7, though. I think they got so in their heads that there was not a single team that could fight them clearly, that potentially that's their downfall. But again, this team has incredible gun power, but they just need to realize when to apply it and when to accelerate, when to pull it back. I think they've looked a lot better today. Honestly, it's looked a lot cleaner. It's a lot more like the Alpha 7 of the past, consistently getting towards those late games. But they're realizing there's some big dogs in this lobby.
More respect, but it goes both ways. They do assess the situation as well, getting a bit of info up top side towards E Arena with the split they've gone for. Can't force the issue too heartedly. If they leave themselves exposed, it could be punishing, but that might be an opportunity presented off the shot up from Hora. Filthy angle on that blank.
That's a long distance shot as well. Certainly put Tony K down. Helmet's got to be suffering off the back of that. Rough for Tony K as well, as he's usually the front man for the squad here. Joker's wrapping back. It's going to get done. Alpha 7 also has taken a knock in the process. These are bad times to be taking knocks. Circle goes central. Nongshim Red Force. Real chance right now for South Korea. Aura down towards the southeast. Tiamba's got to move out from the buildings. It's very clear where they've been playing for such a long time. Potentially move up towards the loot crate. I don't know how far in this is, but you could play off the back of it if you've still got vehicles to work with.
Like you touch on there, could this be a game where Nongshim Red Force finally come alive? They've had a pretty safe pathway throughout the zones we've seen so far here on Game 3. We know they're talented. We've been amping them up. We just need to see it, but let's see if Alpha 7 can bring the thunder on the close quarters engagement. Goodbye, Milu, as Tiamba get hit by the front of the vehicle. Quick flicks coming out from A7. A single knockback onto him, and they're starting to take a bit of damage. Nongshim Red Force taking pot shots down. And although they've cleaned out the ditch, they've got a lot more to worry about.
This is just the difference between EWC and when we come to any other tournaments around the world. PMWC very similar in that approach as well, where you cannot make any play without another team dipping their heads in, right? It's really, really difficult. Every squad knows when to pick up the heat, honestly. E Arena also suffering massively on their entry. They just could not find a good time to make their way in.
Yangon still living on with a four-man squad. Hillside position in play currently for them that they will have to abandon eventually. Hora on the rack further down. The duo of Ida was rattled down to only Darkin off the back of this central angle that was taken from Alpha 7. Arcing nades in towards the Tianba compound.
Tiamba, despite suffering so much earlier on versus Alpha 7, still alive here, but playing a building that everyone knows is occupied. Darkin and Tiamba live in the same nightmare. Right now, Alpha 7 need to make a move. Watchtower is open. Potential at moving over towards that. Vitality takes some heavy hits. Nongshim Red Force continuing to put on the pressure on this map. Again, Yangon Galacticos suffering to the same thing that E Arena did. They were looking for any kind of entry point, but every single way in just feels like a tight, narrow alley. They've got to squeeze themselves through.
Alpha 7 biding their time, know that they can strike now with a peek out. Revo single-handedly has been the explosive force on Alpha 7. 5 elims tied to just this one beastly player. He's on his last legs for now. They need to play medic to get him back up, but Nongshim Red Force have had sightlines to make them feel uncomfortable.
I mean, honestly, for Alpha 7, they've had the roughest game. This is a really, really hard approach for them. I think they've played phenomenally this match so far. It's never been easy, but they are running out of supplies, right? They're running out of meds overall. I think the gas is low in the tank. Let's see how much more Alpha 7 can get done in this game. I think this is where they really will need to take the task to the next level. I think it's going to be hard. The game's going to come down to Nongshim Red Force and Vitality, unless Aura has something to say about it.
Nongshim Red Force just uncontested by any other squads. They've just got 3 angles to hold onto A7. And like you say, it's made it so brutal to move up. Meanwhile, we get the POV of Axel that's taking shots down onto him, but running low on supplies again. The ammunition economy could be a problem. They turn their attention straight onto Horror, though, Blank, and want to see if they can charge.
The nades just aren't pitched right, though. I think that's the last bombardment coming through from Alpha 7 too. There's a couple more nades still left. M79's in play as well. You need those smokes to make your way across. But I think it might be lights out soon. Great shot from Axel once again. This man's name's been in my mouth far too often today. It's crazy.
Just as Nongshim turn their attention over onto Yangon and Alpha 7 were given a chance to take, they go in. But Horror are still holding. And Alpha 7 cut short on the crossing. They can't arrive, and Horror hold on.
The jiggle there comes on through. Looks really, really good in that moment. I mean, Aura didn't give them a chance to move on that one. Joker still up. E-Arena managed to make themselves into a top 5 despite everything. Yangon Galacticos massively suffering to the sidelines of pretty much just Axel, who has their number. But Yangon, I feel like their time is up now.
And that could be a statement that you could attribute to every other squad in the lobby with how Vitality are starting to play. A beautiful day from them so far. 10 elims in the space of this single battleground up to this point. A full 4 squad. The only other that's comparable is Nongshim Red Force.
No.
Joker!
Oh, almost got the second, dude. I actually felt it in that moment. But he might have single-handedly just ruined the chances of Aura. It goes down to this. Nongshim Red Force versus Vitality. Does get the res, though, which denies the point. That's why he goes through with it.
An economic play. Thinking about the future of what's yet to come for Horror. But right now in the flesh, live in Paris, we're talking about the present that is this game. A gift we've been given with Vitality playing flawlessly and Nongshim Red Force bringing the strategy down to our final 2 squads.
Side by side now. Vehicles still in play here for Vitality. For Nongshim Red Force, they moved up early. They've got 1 vehicle that I can see in play. But Vitality having these cars still up and available is a really big deal for them, which is maybe why actually earlier on Razak was making such a big deal of scaring off E-Arena's angle so they couldn't take shots down towards the tires because they knew they'd need those wheels later on. Little plays like this can make the difference. Moving up towards that loot crate could be the big thing, though. Vitality looking to make the first move. You can hear the engines revving. Observers, love you guys.
Crushing
in
it
the
right
scene.
now. Giving us the cinematics of the story on this one. And I think you're spot on with how they played it, mate. But that's the devil in the details that's really raised our opinion of Vitality just in the space of the previous 2 games, with the fact that strategically it's been on the money time and time again.
Playing off the rooftops, both teams begging that each other makes a peek. Right now, this is more about information gain than everything. Not having any sight denied by the windows inside. And it comes down to this, zone 9. Circle starts to close. Both teams will have to make a move. M79's dropping out the smokes. Clearing out space between the center of the buildings. In come the vehicles. Razak goes first, gets it up towards the next. Had to make the crossing without taking too much damage here. Again, everything is folding into this.
Cerebral plays. The smoke wall providing the cover that they need to take space off of this. Second by second. edging further closer into a better angle to play off of. They want to cross. Smoke wall goes up. That's a nade being primed from the top of the roof, though. If this is on point from Nongshim, it could be absolutely brutal. Goes into the back line. Just splash damage.
Oh, what? What an insane nade. Axel's moving up, though. He's getting towards the back lines of them. He's already in. Razy's going to take a little bit of damage from that. Razak very much hurting now in the back lines. Razy's going to send a Molotov over the top side. Axel hurting.
He gets it done with a shotty. 1-for-1 trades on the Elim so far. There's the spam in from the Blizzard as we see another player fall. Nongshim, Red Force seeing red as they're bringing the heat straight to Vitality. Only a single player remains. He might have the heavy artillery, but he can't do it. Nongshim, Red Force with a strategic, comfortable game. Take game 3 and get that chicken dinner.
Just hold strong inside the building, they say. Au revoir to Vitality.
C'est la vie.
But honestly, for Nongshim Red Force, I half expected that just to be the ending of them. But it was stalwart in their defense. Losing Razak on the approach was the big deal. I half expect them just to all follow Axel's approach and just move to the side. But Nongshim Red Force, they've been storing those nades up until that moment.
That's the crazy thing, right? They were just given so much space to sit comfortably. And they get it done, they get a chicken dinner. But you can see, Blank, it's not just what they've done for themselves, it's the reverberations they're sending throughout the other teams in this lobby, in this group. Alpha 7, trapped in such a horrific position.
Yeah.
A squad that looked like they were really starting to build up energy in that lobby, in that game, held back by Nongshim Red Force, could not get out of their angle, forced to fight Horror, and it all falls.
But honestly, again, when we were watching that game, Alpha 7 probably had the roughest task ahead of them. But they persevered, and that really speaks volumes for Alpha 7, in my opinion. I think those boys really gave it all in their game. For Vitality, Nongshim Red Force, they had the best compounds since minute, let's say 10, right? But I think for Alpha 7, they had to work for those points. They had to work for their money there. And it's nice to see. The synergy looked good, and that's what Revo was talking about, that they feel better going to these games. So I think this is a difference maker today. Again, we got the Alpha 7 squad. We're looking to destroy everyone in the lobby, potentially. We're not sure just yet. But yeah, Vitality, E-Arena, Aura, they are stepping up at the moment.
It's incredibly competitive out there, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it from what we've seen from Group B today. Everyone is keeping it so close. They're giving it their best. I think you're spot on, man. I entirely agree. It's what they've said in the interviews as well. And sometimes it's just words, but no, they prove that it's reality.
Exactly.
They prove it, Blank.
It's not just false confidence. I mean, it's nice to hear from Revo when he just says, look, the synergy's better, we're prepared this time, and you can see it in game. But are you prepared to go up against an E-Arena? Are you prepared to go up against a Vitality, a revitalized Nongshim Red Force? I don't know, but we'll find out later today.
Max and Lace here at the merch stand at EWC 2026. Now, I've heard, Max, you're a little bit of a card fan.
Look, I've been playing and collecting card games for over a decade now, and I've never been on a card myself. But that changes today, right here at this booth.
Well, yes, here at EWC, you can actually choose what you want to go on your card. Fantasy, fighting, shooter, cyberpunk, horror. Max, I'm going to have to go shooter. What about yourself?
Look, I love shooters, but fantasy is just so sick, so I'm going to go fantasy. But now the next one is you're picking your class. Usually in every game I play, I'm a healer, so I'm going to go with the healer class.
And guess what? I'm a DPS gal. I'm right up in that action, so I'm going to hit DPS. Fire, ice, lightning, shadow, glitch. So now we can put a bit of an aura light around our card. I think you're a glitch. Glitch?
I'm a glitch? I don't know how to take that, but thank you, I guess. But yeah, Esport World Cup is all about, you know, getting that technology involved. So I'm going to go with the glitch side of it. And next one is going to be Alien, Elf, Orc, Demon, and Undead. And I don't want to pick for you, Lace, but I feel like Elf would fit you perfectly on your card.
Absolutely. I'm going to pick Elf. It's like you just knew me, Max, and I'm so excited for this card. Now we're going to open the camera here and take our photo.
I'm going to use my mic as a staff. I think that's a good way to do it. Oh, yeah, dynamic pose. Oh, I like that. And confirm. Avatar. Let's see how it comes out.
I had to get the pose down, Max. There we go. Now, of course, you guys here can come to the merch stand at EWC in and amongst your games. Make your own card. You can actually get it sent to your email address for free. But Max and I think we're going to get ours printed.
Yeah, we're going to redeem it right here at the booth and see how it looks in real life.
All right, Max and I haven't seen our cards yet, but you guys at home have. Are you ready to have a look, Max?
Oh, yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa. It really encapsulated my jawline. That's crazy.
Yes, and I like that when you do the motion, it actually captures that.
Yeah, you know what? If you want your own trading card now with you on the card, make sure to come and get it right here at EWC 2026.
Boy, oh boy, if we had any questions about Nongshim Red's Force, they were just answers that were able to stop Vitality in that last game.
Finally, Nongshim return. Let's go. I was watching and I was going, okay, they're playing for survival. They are trying to just get into that top 5, just try and do something here. However, I knew, we've been talking about this actually before the game, right, where it's like, this team does not have any pressure on them whatsoever. They are not a team that falters under that pressure. So for me, seeing that, I was like, okay, let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. And actually, you know, coming in, they had a fantastic defense. Vitality, yes, they did push one by one a little bit, but I think for Nongshim, they were able to come in having sat all game in one compound and actually go, we're under pressure. Let's still play very well, still go as a group, push as a duo, make sure we're safe, and that's what won them the game.
And I mean, I got to talk about Vitality again. I'm sorry that I'm harping on about them, but they were able to have a 11.3 average elimination rate to catch E Arena. This is insanity after, obviously, the cracking game from E Arena right at the start. But they created themselves such powerful positions in this zone. They had such an incredibly close gap in points that they were like, you know what? We need to make this rotation. We need to play it here. Obviously, right at the end here, I liked the way that Axel sort of made that push with the vehicle. Unfortunately, that communication wasn't really passed on to the rest of the team. They should have followed through after popping the smokes, but obviously 3 of them held back. It would have been a different game for them. But from the start, I mean, the recon that they had on every single building push that they were able to do, especially against, I think it was TT, they are playing absolutely insane, not only for,
Hey guys. Hello. I decided to join you guys for a little bit of a CC update because I've got some interesting stuff to talk about, okay? We've got a lot going on at the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. We already had a 3rd, 4th place decider match happen, and GK Esports was able to claim 3rd place, making Rock Esports be that 4th place squad. Once that was done, we now have a grand finals match occurring. We will have another EWC champion in just a couple hours. That's between AGAL and KSG. It's going to be massive, and of course, I'll keep you guys all updated at home for how that ends up playing out. But, I mean, now that I'm here, let's get back into the discussion. These matches are great. Max, I kind of want to ask, Lace, do you have any thoughts about
Vitality?
Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't be trying to take my job. Go find some more updates for the club championship. Yeah, she was going to ask you about, I don't even know what, Max, after these 3 matches, what has surprised you so far?
That was a normal, it's a normal-ish game. Actually, it was kind of weird still. The circle was very far to the western side. There was a lot of water on phase 1 zone. But overall, the execution was fun, but it was very gifted. We know, looking at this game, Vitality, Nongshan Red Force, not contested. There are 2 buildings in the circle until the very bitter end, literally until circle 8/9, and they went to make it work out. But pretty an easy win, right? And we're going to have a replay very soon to check out how Vitality decided to commit to the push. But here we go, quick look at the overall rankings, and oh my goodness, the point gap that we have created between 3rd and 4th position, Liptroy, is mental. 41 points up against 25.
I saw that in the beginning and at the end of game 3, right? Or game 2, rather. I mean, I was looking at 35 to 16 points, huh? And it keeps going. 41 to 25 is insane. 25, 20, 16, 15, 12. That's sort of more normal for a game 3. 51 is not. And I don't know how we've got here. E-Arena, Vitality, even Hora doing fantastic in what have been back-to-back-to-back insanely difficult zones.
We do have to say, though, for E-Arena, they have slowed down, Lays. They ended up getting 39 points in that first game, but after that, yeah, you've been able to get some points here and there. Obviously, just for everybody, I'm not expecting for you to get 30 points again, but if it does happen, that'll be amazing. But the squad just hasn't been able to pull off the gap that I thought was going to happen.
See, this is what I see across several games, is that your game number 1 can be the crux of the whole entire thing. You can clearly take everyone's weakness, go in strong, but of course, 2nd, 3rd game, people are going to start reading your plays, understand where that you are going to push and how you're going to make this through, and that's what's happening to E-Arena now. They had such a strong start, but everyone's reading them like a book.
Everybody is reading them like a book. When we saw the overall there, at the bottom 3, we did ended up seeing Godlike. And with Godlike, we saw this past match that they ended up getting into a hot drop. For this squad, you know what, before we even talk about Godlike, let's talk about this, because I know you wanted to talk about this, Max.
Yes, I really wanted to have a bird's eye view of this push on Vitality that really can see the center of the circle, forcing Vitality out of their compound before Nongshan Red Force. So Vitality don't have the advantage anymore. They have to be on the offensive. Massive smoke road. I'm not going to lie, looking at some of these smokes, not great synergy and communication. It kind of all spread all over the place, not denying lines of sight properly onto Nongshan Red Force, but you can see the moment the 2 teams do get in grenade range, it's just a mini red zone here in this final zone, sending it forward. But this, I would say, is the biggest mistake from Vitality, and the main reason why they didn't end up getting this chicken dinner. They're sending it 1 by 1. 1 player sends it, then an extra player sends it, but 2 players are still on the back end of that fight. This is the moment to send everything onto Nongshan Red Force to hopefully make it work out. But here, 1 player on the left side of the wall, he gets overwhelmed. That's the end for Axel. Another player inside the building gets 1v3 at that moment pretty much. No way, Jose, is that working out. The 2 other players still on the roadside. Unfortunately for them, that was a massive misplay, sending it all together. Maybe that could have been a Vitality win, but Nongshan Red Force, they see that mistake and instantly shut it down.
And it was going to be a hard push for Vitality. The fact that they weren't even able to try to make that push was perfect to see. Now, going back to Godlike, one thing that I was talking about with OG is that I wanted to see aggressiveness. Here with Godlike, I don't want to see unnecessary aggressiveness out of this squad, and I'm talking about those hot drops. You don't need to do those hot drops. Right now, you started off hot in Rondo, but they have slowed down in a way that they're just having to do silly things. You don't want to be hot dropping. You want to be securing those points.
Look, before this game, I said, I'm going to cut them some slack. We need a more normal game from them before I really judge them too harshly, right? Because bad zones are they're just horrific. And we had a normal zone-ish. Wait, no, we didn't have a normal zone, but we didn't even get to the non-normal zone because they were normal-ish because they were too busy hot dropping. Why are we doing this?
I'm going to jump in again on your solo camera shot.
Yes.
Miramar's coming up. La Cobreria. So if it's happening on the Wrangle, they're hot dropping the entire day, basically.
That's so true. You're so right, actually, and I'm not here for it. Stop hot dropping. Play normally. We believe in you. Just stop it.
I believe in them too. You know what? Let's all get into it cozy here. Let's get over, Lacey. Yeah. How do we feel about hot drops?
I freaking love it. I think it's fantastic. I think this is the 6th games you've got to make and do these plays. But you've got another 6 tomorrow to sort of calculate and figure it out. Hot drop. Go crazy.
What if it's a hot drop with Vitality?
Vitality go and get you. I don't know. Maybe don't do that.
Definitely.
Read the game, VOD review, guys. Don't drop where Vitality's dropping right now. They're playing great.
Just please, honestly, God, stop hot dropping. You're a team that has the potential to make it to the finals, just like OG was able to do as well. So please make sure you keep doing that. And as we're at the halfway point here of PMWC at EWC 26 Group B, how about we send it over to Barney and Luti? What are they up to right now?
Luti.
Yeah, Barney, tell me.
I've asked you to come down to the stage because I was talking to a few people and they told me that you have found out the formula, the secrets to win at PMWC. Is that right?
Yeah, I spoke with so many specialists, so you have to listen to me carefully, okay? Because the secret, Barney, is like you have to... And the chicken, you take the chicken at this point. This is... And this is how you can be the champion.
Wow. I never knew that. That's some crazy insight into this game. And I tell you what, for those of you at home, if you're watching and you want to find out what it takes to win at PMWC, that right there, that's the secret. And so, casters, over to you.
Hope they listen well.
The secret is out, baby. Let's get it going. We're live in Paris, France. Man, I thought Group A was crazy, but Group B is not messing around. I'm Hot Jukes here with John Allen. Bro, are you kidding me? What's going on today?
I mean, E-Arena, what a start to the day. And then Vitality just hitting those games every single time, always ending up in that late game and having a blast with it. Now they're neck and neck at the top, and they're pushing past those boundaries, Jukes.
Man, those boundaries are long gone. We saw, in my opinion, the best start in a tournament in PUBG Mobile esports history here. And we got some teams actually competing with them still. It is unreal. The zones have been going all over the place. This first half has been nuts, and I'm expecting even more craziness as we get into the final 3 matches.
There is so much still left to go, if you can even imagine it, right? That is so crazy that we've had such a bombastic start, but we've still got plenty more matches left. This is the last Erangel today, so we're going to be heading to Miramar later as well. The desert awaits, but we have to get through the last of the grassy pastures first in order to get there. We haven't earned that right just yet. Neither have our players, but they are getting locked and loaded and lobbied up as we head on into the match. It is time once more to see if Vitality can reach that late game.
Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. This is the final Erangel. Like you mentioned, this is that place to put up some serious points. We finally saw Nongshim Red Force get their chicken dinner. They were at the bottom of the leaderboards going into that match, but now they've got to be feeling pretty good. Which is going to be the next team to get it? We're about to find out. Let's get into it. The last Erangel here of day number 1 of Group B.
Let's get stuck right in from the military island up towards Severny on this plane path. We're going to see a fairly fair distribution of drop spots available for everybody. No real big dramas here. Taking a look at those tables as well. Nongshim Red Force jumping up with that chicken dinner all the way to 5th place on 20 points right now. Just goes to show you these early doors don't mean a jot if you can keep it going. So for Hustler Crew, let's pick up the pace, you know? A UK team in the finals? Absolutely, I'd love that.
Let's get it going. I mean, hey, we saw Nongshim before that last game. They had, what, 6 points? And then now we see them, like you mentioned, in 5th place in just 1 single game. So, when it comes to Hustler Crew, they could definitely get it going here. You can see the top players there on that bottom left side with Axel with 14 eliminations.
Yeah, doing bits for the rosters right now. Vitality E-Arena are going to be slathered all over these top player cards. I'm guaranteeing it for you now with what they were able to do. They are looking very, very good. E-Arena, a little bit less legs into those later games, I think it's safe to say, but they still have done so much. And Horror keeping pace. I mean, in any other sort of day, that 41-point record for Horror would be pretty immense, right?
after the first couple of matches.
Oh my God!
Let's do it to them again. You know, let's send the circle down south and see what they got. Because yeah, we didn't get enough military.
What is going on today? These circles have been absolutely insane. And you're right, we're back down south once again. You got Vitality down there. I mean, it's wild to think that we saw a 39-point game in one match, and we actually have a team tied with them. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, since then, what is that? 12 points they've earned in the next 2 games, which is still pretty good, right? That's pretty good. That's like a middle table performance right now. 8th and 9th, both on 12 points apiece. So yeah, they've still done pretty well. But Vitality's consistency for me is really interesting. And given this circle, Vitality are in such a good spot. If it does go south, because they do need to keep themselves nice and cool, calm, collected, and look good.
Yeah, well, you guys got to make sure you pick up that Naruto skin. That Uzumaki event is going on, guys. Make sure you pick up all that good stuff in-game immediately. I'll tell you what, I make sure that I got mine, and I know that Maxman has got his. But which team is going to get this chicken dinner? We can see the Wolves. They ain't messing around. They said, let's get down south quick.
Absolutely. First over the bridge. Well, second maybe over the bridge, I think it's safe to say. You do have some players.
Oh,
no,
are you kidding me?
No. They're just going to abandon it. Not even going to try and flip it. I mean, I guess if you don't have any nades or anything like that, that's actually really nasty for the Wolves. That's going to slow them down. The good news is that they are across. The bad news is we saw them do that.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Out of all the things.
That's the most negative aura that I think I've ever seen of any team, is from the NA team, of course.
Out of all the things that could have got put on stream, has to be that one.
Who was driving? I didn't catch.
You know what? It was nobody that was driving.
Oh, right? They get caught by Vitality.
No!
Oh, if only you had a vehicle.
Oh. This just goes to show here, folks, at this level, one single... Baton with a pan!
He got a pan knock. I think that was a thrown pan knock coming on through. Okay, they're not out of the fight just yet, but they are starting to bleed. The Wolves will struggle here, and I imagine that Razy's going to get back up.
Yeah, now you got Necessary all by his lonesome. Razak trying to pull off some plays there. Oh my gosh, switching in that buggy. Necessary is done, and the Wolves are getting destroyed. This is what I'm talking about. One tiny mistake, a domino effect into a straight disaster.
Imagine being an NA team right now, man. Oh, that would suck so much. Wow.
Look at his face.
Hey, he's got,
look at his
vehicle.
face.
They found another. Oh, okay. I think. Wait, no. I'm wondering if Vitality found the flip turn vehicle, the beetled vehicle,
dude,
and if they've pitched it back, that would be brilliant.
This is what I mean, and the good thing is that Vitality is that this is their drop spot. They're already so high on the leaderboards, they can do whatever they want. They can chase this all the way if they feel like it. Let's take a look at the replay.
Okay.
Oh, what's this? No way.
Oh my! On a moving buggy.
And
with a headshot,
baby! Bad shot to the face. Are you kidding me? That was insane. If his team would have survived, I mean, still, that's going on the highlight reel for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, that's that. Okay, they get some aura points back for that.
Yeah.
So we can forgive the flip vehicle. You know, if you're getting a ranged pan headshot,
that was cool.
You're breaking brains and scrambling like eggs. You know, that's fair enough. You're gonna bring the pan to play like that. You can have that one back.
Yep. Yeah, that officially is even. Aura balanced. Let's take a look here at Vitality, though. They're looking to put in some more work. Oh, look at that, though. We're going to see Lupa get a nice knock on